Crankworx is... It's a crazy thing to be involved in.
It's hectic, but you're in it and you're just like loving it.
A reunion of friends and people in different cultures.
All these cool different locations, all these different tracks.
There's always so much stuff going on.
People are just stoked on biking, and they're just stoked to be here.
Hearing so much energy around.
We live for that.
Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you and enjoy your flight.
The time has come. Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza. No better way to kick off the 2023 Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour. After a short off season of just 4 months, we're back here on this McGazza Slopestyle course, and she running smooth, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. The course builders have this course absolutely primed and ready to go, ready to take these athletes to the moon here in Rotorua to start this 2023 Crankworx Slopestyle event.
Hey, because of the good weather we've been having, there's been more practice. What do you think that does to the riders? Do you think it's possible to like elevate the level any higher than what we saw just 4 months ago?
I mean, it's something I was thinking about coming into this, you know, seeing all the riders in the off season. Yes, it has not been that long since they were here competing, but they've been riding pretty much all through the off season. I've seen clips from Nicholi doing shows, doing airbag tricks, all these riders pushing their limits. I think everyone's got a little something new in their bag, and they're ready to unleash it here today.
And we're gonna unleash a new rider on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour to start this competition out of Sweden. As if, you know, we're surprised to have a new slopestyle rider out of Sweden. They seem to be doing it right over there. It's gonna be Felix Törnqvist. Then we've got big names as we roll through the start list. We will finish with our top 3 from the last event. We got Tim Bringer, Erik Fedko, and Emil Johansson. Can Max Fredriksson make it 3 podiums in a row as well? We're gonna have all 14 of those riders dropping in for their first of 2 runs here shortly. Felix Törnqvist getting ready in the gate now. He's the 2022 Red Bull Rookie of the Year. His first Crankworx Slopestyle appearance. Natural spin direction is clockwise. You see him go. Regular truck driver drop to start out, Alan.
Yeah, nice double downside tail up on the hip. This is the culmination of his life on bikes right here. It's his opportunity to execute with a huge double whip flip, keeping that momentum going. Let's see what he's got on the wall. Nice wall ride bar spin off. Takes a couple pedals, keeping his speed off of this.
Yeah.
Cannon, nice, knack. 360, not something we see usually. And there, on the stump, he rode up on his front wheel, bar off. Big truck driver on the spot. 360 tail up to bar spin, triple combo on that step down.
Whoa!
Back bar spin, almost putting the exclamation point on his inaugural slopestyle career here at Crankworx. So awesome to see him get to the bottom. Unfortunately, just getting a little sideways on that 4th bar spin and sliding out. He's healthy. He's going to be ready to go. So the nerves are off now.
Wow, Nicholi telling him, man, you were so on it. You know, we checked out his Instagram earlier this week to learn a bit about the rookie on the tour, and we noticed he is so good at backflip quadruple bar spins. He does them on tiny jumps. Do you think this jump was just so much bigger than what he's used to? He seemed like he over-rotated a little bit.
Yeah, he did have a lot of speed coming down to the bottom, so we'll have to check that replay when we get here. I saw a lot of really veteran moves out of Felix here. You know, when he was a little low on speed, he was able to get those pedals in, keep his momentum going. And there's that triple combo, 360 tail whip to bar spin on the step down, and then here, 1, 2. You can see he's already a little crooked there on 2. 3, starts to straighten out a bit, gets that 4th one, but watch the back wheel hit first. A little bit over-rotated, like you called out, Cam. He maybe over-jumped by about 8 to 10 feet, and that's just gonna leave him hanging in the air a little bit longer than he wanted to, causing him to over-rotate. But as Nicholi said, absolutely perfect except for that one little misstep there at the bottom.
Yeah, Nicholi saying you are so on it. Well, you know what? The bugs are worked out right now. The first time jitters he's not going to have to worry about them in run number 2. If he can just straighten out that backflip quad bar, he was just a bit leaned, then he'll be able to get one in the bag. But here we go, next rider in the start gate. The youngster out of Squamish, BC, Ben Thompson. He took 5th place in Cairns in his first Crankworx appearance. Let's see if he can get back into that top 5 here. Front flip drop to start things off.
Yeah, absolutely perfect front flip. And there we got a truck to downside whip. Getting a couple pedals and keeping his speed up for this big second jump.
Yeah.
Backflip, perfect extension on that. Wall ride, bar spin out, off the cannon. What's he got?
Yes, kicking with that front foot. Looks like an opposite double whip there off the cannon.
Keeping it going. There's another tail whip there on the spine. Triple front drive on the step down. Gets a little off. Let's see if he can keep that momentum going.
Oh, yeah! Speed did not touch the ground. 360 double downside tail whip on the McGazza money booter. That's just going to give us our baseline score right there. That is a stomped run.
Yeah, he transferred quite a bit left off that jump. I think, you know, after that step down, he maybe didn't quite have the speed that he wanted to. But even though this is only his second slopestyle event here at Crankworx, like a true professional, he was able to suck up that last lip and make sure he got enough forward momentum to get over that jump. But there, that Superman seat grab backflip with perfect extension.
Nice and horizontal there at that full extension moment. So good. I love seeing the balance of different types of tricks. So right there, that double tail up, you know what? That's the same direction he was spinning his tail up the whole run. He might just kick them with his front foot naturally, which makes it so that those 360 downside whips line up. And that's how he finished this run after this 360 triple bar spin out of the step down, which is going to score so high. Let's take a look back at how he finished it, Alan.
Yeah, he landed a little sideways on there, got a pedal in, but watch him transfer to rider's left here. He's gonna head rider's left. He's got his feet getting really crazy, but he's actually making little minor adjustments while he's in the air that entire time. And he's able to get those pedals right under his feet and absolutely stomp that landing.
Yeah, he's got magnet shoes. The fact that he was able to correct that little bit of off-kilterness right before he caught those pedals. What's the score gonna be? A 78. Ben Thompson, solid first run score.
Yeah, setting the tone there. Almost looked Superman'd out as he was making that correction with his body weight on that double downside 3-whip.
Oh yeah, there was like a photo moment in there. It looked so wild. Great to see him in the field. He was here as an alternate last year. So Ben Thompson put down the first top to bottom run of the day. Now Miguel Guerrero has a chance to do the same. He was here last year, so he knows this course well. Miguel on course. Oh!
Definitely going for it right off the bat with a hop. Triple truck off the flat drop. It is so hard to get the momentum, to get that rotation without a transition to really kind of wind you up. He was able to get all 3 bar spins off, but it looked like maybe he over-rotated just a hair.
Yeah, I mean, that's a heck of a way to start a run right there. Triple truck off the start drop. He's gonna roll this one down to the bottom, stay warm.
So these riders, you might be wondering, like, okay, he fell down, what's he doing? He's taking the run down. Well, this is an opportunity for him to do a couple of things. He's shaking off those cobwebs, so the last jump he went off wasn't a mistake. He's able to get some free laps in here, shake out the cobwebs, get used to being in the moment here at this Rotorua Slopestyle course.
Carolo Dirt, follow him on Instagram at Carolo Dirt, finishing thing. No, you know what? He's gonna have more confidence when he gets back into the start tower, right? Like you say, the last time he rode wasn't a crash. He just stomped a flip, triple bar, so when he gets back up at the top, he'll be confident for that 360 triple bar spin if he chooses to go for that again in run number 2. So good. Let's see what the people are saying here. Red Bull Bike YouTube channel, that's where you're watching us from right now. Got a little chat box at the bottom. If you want to talk to us, we're reading them all. Got any questions, drop them in there. Great show already, and we're only 3 riders into this 14-rider field.
Yeah, Miguel, unfortunately, with a double thumbs down. But, you know, I think he's got what it takes to come back and really keep pushing and find himself on this tour for the rest of the season. It ain't over. I didn't hear anybody singing.
I see some funny comments coming in. I can't read all of them. Some of them are not appropriate. But that's why we like it. Keep them coming. Look at this. We're going to keep the riders coming at you right now. Tom Isted loaded up into the gate. He had a 4th in Cairns last year. which was a huge result for him. He was on fire here last year, but didn't get the result he was looking for. Chance for some redemption here.
Gets that hot flip off that
Yes.
top.
Oh!
Big corked out, 8-10. Going the long way around the hip. Nice.
Whoa!
Double backflip, so calm and casual. Truck over the wall ride, decides to avoid the wall ride and trucks all the way over. Tuck no hand and front flip off the cannon. Another gap over with the backflip bar spin. Okay, what's he got on the step down?
On Tom, get it! Yes!
Yes, gets that cork 7.
He needs to finish strong here. McGazza money booter, a twister, and he stomps it!
And he absolutely stomps it.
Oh, that's huge!
We saw him struggling with that moving cans. Not quite enough speed to make it happen, but this time, absolutely perfect. Both tires on the ground at the same time. And Nicholi's feeling that energy from Tom's run right there.
Oh my gosh. Those last 2 moves. Oh.
I agree with you, Tom.
Go!
I feel it.
We're going.
It's so good to see Tom elevating. You know, last year we saw him as the alternate getting into a lot of rounds. Got that 5th place.
Style on that corked out flat drop flip, and then look at him connect exactly where he needs to go, over rotating that cork 7 to connect to the landing. You're calling an 8-10, I like that.
Yeah, an 8-10, so basically about 90 degrees over rotated of a 720, and then this cam. Look how slow
Lazy.
and calm and casual.
Chilling.
Spotting his landing, bringing his bike in.
Still touching back tire first, even though he was so calm. He 270'd this last year. Now he's throwing in the bars. 270 truck over that wall ride feature. Big front flip combo off the log too, Alan.
Yeah, big tuck, no-handed front flip.
Watch the strong arms on the landing here. You got to be strong in the arms or else your momentum's just going to keep on going. If you compress, you're going over. Oh, and this is the hammer right here. After linking it from the cork 720 on the step down, he goes for broke, throwing over the front shoulder this time and adding an extra rotation. That is 1080 degrees of rotation there. The twister, made famous by Nicholi Rogatkin, the very dude who was the first to congratulate him.
Yeah, so cool to see Tom stomp that first run.
What's the score going to be for Tom Isted? You know it's going to go into the lead in 88. Way to go out of the UK there, Tom Isted, the man to beat.
So Tom setting the bar 10 points higher with an 88. That is a solid, solid first run score for Tom Isted.
Ooh, buddy. Guess what? All right, I don't know. He did put this on Instagram, so some of you at home might know what he might have planned on the start drop here. We got Paul Couderc, one of the most creative riders in the world. You want to see creative mountain biking, watch his YouTube videos. You're probably going to see something pretty cool here off this start drop.
Yeah, Paul known for making the impossible possible. Let's see what he's got here.
Yep.
Nice 180 with a
style.
perfect half cab. Definitely all the style you need. You
Oh,
no! Unfortunately, over-rotating that 450 tail whip. Sometimes the stoke wins. You know, you get just a little bit excited on that first run. But, you know, he's got the hard part out of the way. That half cab was absolutely clean.
20 seconds ago, he was sitting at the top of the course, getting ready for his run, and he's gone big up and big down in the course of 20 seconds, landing that insanely technical maneuver we're going to see here in real time. He styles out the half cab after setting up fakie, and this was just a hair over-rotated and long down the landing. Too much for that tire to hold on to.
Yeah, carved just a little bit more left than he needed to on that hip, which caused him to over-rotate.
Boom.
And these guys are running sometimes upwards of 100 PSI in their tires for speed, and they just can't take those sideways landings. And unfortunately, Paul with a puncture and that wheel exploding.
Man, we saw him right before the rider intros, and he just looked so focused. You commented on it. Man, can't wait to see him back for run number 2.
Yeah, I've been seeing a little extra sparkle in Paul's eyes all week long. Just looking that, just unbelievably calm and unbelievably comfortable.
Yeah.
Fresh kit, fresh bike. We'll see him back. He's a true professional. He can shake this off. I know he can.
For sure. The crowd's behind Paul Couderc, who will look to his second run as we take a look at who's at the top right now. We got Griffin Paulson, who took a 7th place in Cannes, a 10th in Innsbruck. We're going to take a look at how he sets his bike up for slopestyle here. This Maxxis bike check with Griffin Paulson.
Yo, what's up guys? I'm here at Crankworx Rotorua in the Maxxis tent. I'm gonna run you guys through my bike setup. I'm so stoked to have this thing dialed in for the slopestyle. Let me show you how it goes. Yeah, so I've been running the Maxxis Icon tire for too many years to count now. This tire I have so much confidence in, it's staying on the rim. You know, these things have great grip, they're rolling fast, and I'm running these things rock hard almost the entire year, especially here with the Hero Dirt on the Rotorua course. You're not too worried about like sliding out because it's nice kind of like grippy soft dirt. So I'm running these things maxed out, 62 PSI front and back. Running 2.2 profile size on both. I like to keep it symmetrical and balanced. But yeah, these things are killer. I have full faith in these bad boys.
Good stuff. The bike's looking good, Griff. 25 years old, out of BC, hometown Prince George. He had a 7th in Cairns. He's been training hard. Here we go.
Front flip off the flat drop. Perfectly executed. Double downside tail whip. Something I noticed on that bike check. Griffin on a full suspension slopestyle bike. 360 double tail whip, getting it around, no problem. Oh! All the way over the wall ride feature. Oh no! Truck to X up. Little bit of a hang up, and it looks like it bounced his feet off.
Man.
He's gonna keep it going. Keep that hype rolling.
Oh, oh boy.
Gonna make it? Oh!
Okay, well,
My heart stopped.
how about we just focus on run number 2 here?
My heart stopped.
Oh, man. I did not want to see him get pitched out of that step down.
You can't walk down off that feature, not when the crowd's watching.
No, no, you're right. Take a pedal. And
I got
push
respect.
through. Yeah.
I got respect that he went for it, but man, that scared me.
It started out real good here for Griffin.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he just hung up a little bit on that feature and he maybe wasn't expecting it and his feet kind of bounced off the pedals.
And the Canadians are making those front flip flat drops look so clean. Both Griffin and Ben stomping them. Double whip clean. And this was big. We've seen some Instagram shots of Godziek going for front flipping over that feature right there. Griffin landing it smooth.
This is where it was. Watch the truck to X up. Back tire hangs up just a little bit. And sometimes you can get away with that. You can kind of push through, but if you don't see it coming, you can't really get ready for it. And you can see his back foot just bounces right off the pedal, then his front foot. And at that point, there's no getting back on. A little bit of a fist pump, and then dropping in to scare us. Number 2, baby.
Right,
That's what I
number
like
2,
to see.
Griff, you got it. So next, rider loading up in the gate right now is going to be Lucas Huppert. Lucas is a rider who's pushing super hard in practice. He had a couple 5th places last year. And it seems like he just keeps getting more and more consistent. Been training in Aptos, California, Owen Mark's training ground.
Yeah, Lucas incredibly consistent last year, picking up some extra support from a bunch of brands.
Yeah.
Here he is with a hop 360 tail whip off the flat drop. Oh, downside whip. Kind of like a downside whip flare on the hip. So smooth.
Oh, man.
There's that bar-to-bar front flip. What's he got? Coming in the wall ride, bar off. Couple little miscues, but Hoopy keeping the flow going. Double truck off the cannon. Nose to bar, off the stump. What's he got on the spine? Nice truck driver.
Oh, come on.
Cork 7 on the
So
step down.
smooth.
What's he got on this Showtime booter cam?
Here we go. Lucas Huppert backflip, Superman C-grab. Oh my. I don't know how he pulled that bike back underneath him. The rotation was way too fast on that.
Yeah, he waited a long time to get back on that bike. You know how that is when you get back on that bike. Backflip rotation tends to speed up about twice as much as you'd want it to. You can see he's a bit relieved to get to the bottom.
Oh, there was so many huge moments in that run. That was definitely.
Yeah, you see his hand as it comes back on, just gets a little bit of a bobble. You know he was going for a 3rd bar spin there. Getting the single bar off the wall ride. And then here we see him truck and a little bit of a hang up. Oh no, that was.
Watch how clean this is.
Oh yeah, that snap off the lip. That was an amazing shot.
That was like how Semenuk used to do him right there.
Yeah,
Finish the rotation early, slow it down, eye up the landing,
That
snap. Yeah, so much snap off the lip. Now he was really trying to hang these legs out here. But here, this second feature, this is what I love. When he's kicking this tail up his opposite direction, he's hipping out this flip, and he kind of meets up with the bike halfway. We saw him start doing this a couple years ago. He was always landing sideways, but now he's really connecting to that land, and he's the only one out there doing it. And here's a look back at his final jump here.
Yeah, that Superman C-crab backflip, you can see. Watch when he gets his feet on. He speeds up a little bit, throws those hips forward, grabs the brake, able to get the landing gear out.
I'm glad he held that one together.
Yeah, that downside tail whip flip on the hip, it was really reminiscent of like a Jamie Bestwick downside flare.
Totally.
That he does on vert ramps, something that we've seen in BMX. But Lucas able to make it happen on this massive dirt hip. Getting another look here.
This is a perfect example of what one of our viewers is talking about, and a great time to answer this question. Ready for Zion says, when the guys land flips, are they going to be judged hard if they land on the back wheel and roll out like a manual, or do the judges like it better to come down on both wheels simultaneously? Alan, good question, right?
Well, yeah, you know, there's not a set number for any specific trick. Cleanliness is definitely going to get you those extra points that you need in order to be in the top 5. A little bit of back tire like what we saw out of Hoopy. You know, I don't know if they'd be taking too much away from that, but if you combine all of those little small mistakes that we saw out of that run, that is definitely going to affect his overall score. So a lot to clean up for Hoopy.
I think the judges like 2 tires simultaneous right there. Just ding, ding. So Lucas Huppert is going to still slide into 3rd place. Such a great run. If he gets all the extension on that final feature, on that backflip Superman C-crab, he can improve that 74. So good run there from Lucas Huppert. We go back up to the top. It's all about Lemoine right now. We're so excited to have him competing in this competition. He's let it be known that he's going to start refocusing on bigger jumps, bigger bikes, and maybe less slopestyle in the future. So we're going to enjoy this moment for all it's worth, because this is one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, so excited to hear what he's going to end up doing after that little interview with him talking about big bikes. The creativity from Tomas Lemoine changing venues should be pretty interesting. But let's see what he's got here in Rotorua. Nice fast plant 360 off the flat drop, truck to invert. Coming around on this second jump, what's he got? Big, nice slow double backflip. Super clean on that jump. Wall ride to tuck, no hander. It's his opposite pull off of that wall. Bar spin flip on the cannon, keeping the momentum going, looking really good today. Nose bump 3 on the spine. Does he have enough momentum? He does. He even gets a bar spin off. Coming into this final jump.
Yeah, cash roll clean to finish it off.
Man, the rotation on that cash roll had me holding my breath a little bit, but he was able to pull it around, no problem.
I like seeing Lemoine on the full suspension slope bike right here. Really, really smooth landings like we always come to expect from Tomas Lemoine. And that cash roll is so smooth at the end. I'm wondering what happened. It was a little bit of a nose bonk 360 on that spine. I gotta believe he wanted more than a bar spin on the step out. But this was so high and lazy and slow on this double flip.
Yeah, definitely. Him and Tom Isted both executing that to perfection. Let's see if we can get an eye on what maybe happened on that spine. It was a 360 nose press off of the top of the deck here. And watch his back tire. He gets a little bit front end high out of that, and somehow able to get a pedal in before he came off that step down and get himself to the bottom. Finishing with this perfectly executed cash roll.
Yeah, that was so clean, that cash roll at the end right there. I'd say that's a perfect run. He's probably just gonna wanna get a little bit more on that step down after the street spine in run number 2. We'll see where the judges put this.
You see him actually shaking his head a little bit right there. We know he's got more in the tank than if he's not 100% satisfied with what we just got to witness.
He grew a lot of hair in 4 months. Look at this shot.
Luscious locks.
This is a Pantene Pro V commercial. Kelly would be proud right there. Come on, grow that hair out. This is the Maxxis slopestyle in memory of McGazza after all. Score to beat in 88. Tomas Lemoine gets a 70.5. He's sitting in 4th place right now.
Lemoine finding himself in 4th place so far in round 1. Got a bunch more really exciting riders to come, that is for sure, and everybody is going to get a second chance at this course.
That's right. I mean, we're we're still just barely through this lineup right now. The list of riders we have to come.
At the top of the list right now, Tom Isted leading with an 88. Let's take a look back and see what got him there, Cam.
Style on this flat drop flip. Nobody's doing it like that. And look at this. He's just really improved the cleanliness of his run and the consistency. He's leading with an iron fist right now with the top riders yet to go.
Yeah, I mean, so far in this replay, he's landed exactly where he needs to land, keeping his momentum going. The rotations are perfect, including this, the twister.
That link
right there. Having a little bit of trouble with in Cannes last year, but there's nothing wrong with that.
That link right there is a big reason why he's got that 88 and why he's the man to beat right now. 6 more riders to go in run number 1 right here, and we're continuing to ramp up the intensity based on results from last year and the overall series points from last year. We now find ourselves with Dawid Godziek at the top of the course.
Definitely one of the most fired up riders in practice. We saw a lot of things. Opposite tail whip right there on the hop. Straight into a triple tail whip, his regular direction on the hip. Here we go, Cam. And just styling it out over that wall ride. 360 double bar spin to X up on the cannon.
Oh, we've seen him practice his final straightaway a ton in practice. What's he got for us?
So it looks like a cash roll on the step down. And here he comes into the booter.
Fighting for speed, the cash roll tail stomps it.
And he makes it happen. How did he make that happen? Not the most perfect landing on the step down, but a true professional. He was able to suck up some of that momentum and get it going forward off that massive 3-meter lip and clear the jump. I thought for sure he was coming up short. I heard it in your voice, but somehow he was able to push through and get to that landing.
Well, we were sitting here on the edges of our seats because we saw him take a heavy slam on that cash roll tail up early in practice this morning. He started his day. That woke him up and stomps it right here where it counts the most. How about the technicality of these first 2 features here, linking them together?
Massive, massive technicality points. An opposite hop tail up is hard on its own, but coming off of that 15, 20-foot drop is another level. And then here we see him with the no-handed twister.
You know what? He wants something bigger here on this wall ride feature, but he just came out of a front cork 1080 no-hander. He needed to grab a pedal. He still salvaged it with that style move, and then the double truck to X. And now the big question is, Alan, that gondola was in the camera angle. What did he get here? He got the cash roll. Did he sneak the bar in? Nope, he didn't. We've seen him doing that in practice. There we go. The judges at least getting a second look at that, knowing that he cleaned that cash roll, and then the banger to finish it, a cash roll with a tail whip.
Yeah, so definitely some room to improve for Godziek, which is pretty crazy to think about after what we just watched. These guys are pushing the limits of the sport, pushing the limits of the course, pushing the limits of their equipment. Nowhere else can you see this type of riding happen.
I can't believe how early he caught pedals there on that cashy whip. But now we got to ask ourselves, is that run good enough to beat the 88 of Tom Isted? He needs a 74 to slide into podium contention, an 88 to take the lead. Dawid Godziek, a smooth first run. Maybe only a couple little things like that wall ride feature that he might want to brush up. There's things that we know he can add if he needs to, but what's the score going to be?
Yeah, you can see how relieved he is to get to the bottom, kind of get that foundation settled for today's event. Taking a deep breath, soaking it all in. One of the unique things is on the second runs, after we're finished with everybody getting their first run done, they're going to re-rack everybody. So it's going to, the second runs are going to go in the order of the current
here we go.
score.
Oh! Rewarded for a huge run. Dawid Godziek knocks Tom Isted out of the lead.
So that technicality on those first 2 hits that you were talking about, I think really, really standing out. That's a good eye.
Let's not forget the twister no-hander.
Yeah, so much rotation there. 3 full rotations, completely corked out. Having the wherewithal to tuck his bars with his knees, take his hands off, and then this, coming into the step down.
You know, the judges were comparing these last 2 tricks as well. From Tom, he had the cork step to the twister, the front cork 1080. Here, Godziek with the cash roll, which is going to score similar. It's another 720 variation, but then linking it to the cash roll tail whip. Very comparable maneuvers and pretty tight scores here if you're considering it. You got an 88 for Isted and a 91.5 with 5 riders left to go here in run number 1. David, congratulations on stomping that run right there. That cash roll tail up is such a crazy trick. We saw you take a crash in practice. What was it like stomping it here with all the pressure on?
Super nice feeling. Especially I had some problems before the last jump. So I'm super happy to land it. Big relief to land my first run. Now I can add something else.
For sure. What was the hardest part of that run for you?
Every feature was hard part. I didn't want to do a stupid little mistake. I almost did it, but so yeah, it's all good.
Good stuff. It's a 91.5. It's a top score of the day, the score to beat. It belongs to you right now. Congratulations on stomping that run.
Thank you. I'm very happy.
Well, there we go. We have 5 riders left to go in run number 1 here, the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza. The man to beat is that man right there, Dawid Godziek, who just earned the score of a 91.5. We got Max Fredriksson, Nicholi Rogatkin, Tim Bringer, Erik Fedko, and Emil Johansson all left with an opportunity to beat that 91.5. And let's remind ourselves, they got a whole nother run after this one as well. Best of 2 format. Now this guy returned to the podium in the last 2 events of the 2022 season. The last time he found himself on the podium was 2016. It was a long road. Nobody works harder than this guy. And after he stomped that run last year in Whistler with that 6th place, he knew he had the confidence under his belt, and he just kept it rolling in cans, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam. To make it back onto the podium since 2016 is an unbelievable feat. The progression of the sport is so fast. Things are happening at a light speed, and for him to really refocus and get set and finish last year with 2 podiums is amazing momentum to bring him in here.
You know, I remember just hearing just where his head was at after getting that 2nd in a row podium here 4 months ago. He was able to share that podium with his fellow countryman, Emil Johansson. He said, I just can't believe this is real life. I got to spend some time to absorb it. He's had 4 months to absorb it now, and I'm sure he's confident coming into this run.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the people around you believe in you, but when you believe in yourself, you can do anything. And Matt right here, nailing the first drop, nose press to invert, and a triple downside tail whip, picking up where he left off. Nice. Flip bar spin to tuck no-hander, so that's a quadruple combo. Bar in, tuck no-hander out, the first trick we've seen in and out of the wall ride. Double truck off the cannon. Nose press up and across to suicide no-hander. Oppo 3, regular 3. Coming into the final jump, what's Max got?
Here we go, Max Fredriksson, 360 bar spin to tail whip. Coming up a little bit short. 1 foot slightly slipping off. But that is a great top to bottom run.
Yeah, that's so hard. Usually when we see people doing 360 bar spins to tail whips, it's a downside tail whip out. But he actually was able to kick that tail whip the same direction that he was doing the 3. So hard to do that. You got to wind up about, you know, pretty much as hard as you would for a 720, and you kind of stop in the middle of that 360 rotation.
Let's go back up top.
Catch it back up.
This is Max Fredriksson doing Max Fredriksson things. Just click, click, click. It's like the tally is running on these judges' scorecards, and he's very aware of that. Look, this 4-part combo.
Yeah, one of the best bar spins in the game. Doesn't matter if he's upside down, backwards, or whatever it might be. And then this right here, up, across, and then gets the suicide no-hander. So 2 touch points on that stump, something we haven't seen yet.
Good thing there's not a front brake on that left side right there, and he puts his hand back on. Never missing an opportunity to sneak in an extra trick. He was hoping to get the tuck no-hander in that 360 drop, but you know what? I love the fact that he shook it off real quick and still went for this 360 bar spin to tail up, boosting out of our frame.
Yeah, coming up a little bit short there, so definitely some stuff for Max to clean up.
So, to go into the lead, he'd need a 91.5. I'm thinking he's looking more into podium contention right now. He's looking to beat a 78 to get into top 3. What will the judges do with this? You gotta remember, he snuck so many things in. Looks like his ankle might be a little bit sore after that.
Yeah, it almost looked like a carbon copy of what we saw happen to Fedko earlier in practice.
Listen. He's saying it's annoying when you did such a good run and just a little bit of a pedal slip. Oh, he got us all. Punch me, he got me, I was looking. Yeah, you go. You were looking too though.
Oh yeah, you got me.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right, is that what we're doing right now?
Okay.
I'm down with this.
Raining. Wait a second.
Oh, you're right.
Little bit of precipitation coming out of the sky. It's light. It's not something that's necessarily forecasted to sustain, so
I would definitely
see if we can hear what they're talking about up there.
Well, with these wood features here, they get slippery, of course. Rubber on wood with a little bit of water in between is slippery. But this is kind of what we're used to here in Rotorua. This is the least rain we've ever had in the past 9 events we've held here at Skyline Rotorua. So the track crew getting the tarps put on the dirt. Like, nothing they're not accustomed to doing, that's for sure.
Yeah, talking about Nicholi Rogatkin, our next rider. You know, over the offseason, we've been seeing him do nothing but hammer. Whether it's doing shows at Masters of Dirt or training at Cali Protectives in Morgan Hill, California, or even coming early to New Zealand like we saw him do and just getting those airbag sessions in, getting those mulch pit sessions in, and doing stuff that we haven't seen him do in a while or ever.
Yeah, I think that win in Cairns really lit the fire. Not that the fire is ever put out underneath Nicholi Rogatkin, but I think just that feeling of winning a competition again. They were playing some replays of that today, right before we had our rider introductions. You said you watched the look on Nicholi's face as he watched himself win that, you know, and it's just like, every one of these competitions is another opportunity to feel that again, and he's looking to seize that opportunity. Gonna have to wait for the course to dry out before we'll see run number 1 from Nicholi Rogatkin. But yeah, the stuff that he's doing, posting on his Instagrams, these combos that you didn't think you could add anything to, given enough time and the resources like airbags, it's we can't even imagine the things that Nicholi Rogatkin is capable of. He tried a pretty big one last night, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. If you guys want to get primed for this next run, definitely go to Nicholi Rogatkin's Instagram and see there's clips of everything that we're talking about, like what you're talking about, Cam, stuff he was trying here, stuff he's been doing in the off season. It's all on there for you guys to check out.
Well, we got something for you to check out right now. Let's take a look back at this competition, 2015. Nicholi Rogatkin, always the showman, a little bit less of a beard back then, but still that same vigor that we know and come to expect from this human. Oh, lawn dart fronty. That was when we had that huge dirt-to-dirt second feature. The triple tail whip. Then he finished it off with that clean cork 720. You know, I know a lot of the people who show up to watch this competition, one of the big things on their mind is Nicholi's gonna be there. We're gonna see him do his thing for us. He's like Old Faithful, he never disappoints. A win here in 2017. And Rotorua has been good to Nicholi Rogatkin, and he's been good to the fans here. It's like a push-pull. He feeds off of them, they feed off of him. And we're gonna get to see it again here today as soon as we're able to get this course dried out. The rain has stopped. maybe slow to a trickle.
Soon.
That's right, Nikolai, soon.
Did you get a tick on our mullet count? Did you count Nikolai by chance?
We got it. We add another tick.
Okay, tick. Got it.
We got a lot of good mullets out here.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're like all Nikolai fans out there.
That could very well be.
So there's support in the form of a beautiful haircut. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Shiley. I know you're watching right now. What's shaking? Let's take a look back at Dawid Godziek's run. Dawid Godziek sitting in the lead with a 91.5. Do you agree with the judges? Tell us. Red Bull Bike YouTube channel, little chat box there at the bottom of your screen. And we got another opportunity to look at this run.
And that's that technical aspect that you were talking about, Cam. Opposite tail whip off the drop, straight into a triple, and then that.
Oh, I'm so glad the air stayed in his tire right there.
Yeah, the no-handed twister. One of the only riders to do it. You see that cash roll getting bucked a little bit there. How he was able to manage his speed to the point where he was able to get that tail whip cash roll, clear the landing, get back to his tires.
Right?
What an amazing run.
You want a perfect landing on the step down to do your huge trick on the last jump. We saw him crash that cash roll tail whip in practice. With a less than ideal run-in, he stomped it. That's just a testament to how much these riders can dig just a little bit deeper with the pressure on.
It's awesome seeing some of these chats come in from the live feed, people shouting out what time it is in their home country. We got people watching 3 a.m., 1 a.m., 5 a.m. The world is watching, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Hope this rain slows down. We can get these tarps back off and this contest back underway.
Well, we got an opportunity to look back at some more runs. Let's take a look back at Ben Thompson. This is his second Crankworx Slopestyle. He got the 5th in Cairns last year, burst onto the scene. Watch how smooth he lands this front flip drop. Watch his head. No biggie.
Yeah, it's hard to really comprehend what that must feel like after standing on that edge yesterday. Just leaning forward to front flip off that flat drop. But, you know, he was smooth almost all the way down the bottom.
Let's see if there's anything that he can clean up for a second run here. I mean, it was this last jump. Remember, there's a slight little bobble here on this 360. I won't even call that a bobble. He came up a little bit short, but the fact that his feet never left the pedals, the judges are really looking at that.
Yeah, watch how far away his body gets from his bike, right
Picture.
there. He's going away from his bike, and he's able to muscle it back in. He kicks the bike as it actually over tail whips in, and he brings it back. See a little bit of a hop and nose wheelie there, but he was able to stick it, and you see him absolutely stoked to make it happen.
We talked to him right before he went up for his run. He goes, a little excited, a little nervous. You can tell he's like, wow, all the training comes down to this moment. Yeah, he definitely delivered. He's sitting in 3rd place right now with a 78, but that's a whole 10 points behind 2nd place right now. The judges leaving a lot of room for these next 5 riders, next 4 riders to drop. So Ben Thompson definitely showing he belongs, man. He was here as an alternate last year and riding so well in practice. So many people going, oh, I think Ben Thompson is going to be somebody to look out for. And we're like, yeah, I know, I agree, but he's an alternate. And he didn't have the opportunity to ride the competition last year. So patience paying off. He said he learned a lot from doing training with all the riders here on this course. And the fact that he only had to wait 4 months until competing on it, definitely said that it might have been a blessing in disguise not riding the competition last year. The rain is not slowing down the riders in the bike park right now. You see plenty of riders lapping the tracks. Little intermission.
Seeing people get pretty active on the chat.
This is just the tip of the iceberg right now for the 2023 Crankworx World Tour. We're kind of back to normal. We used to always kick things off, stop #1 in Rotorua. We're back to that now. It's taken us 3 years to kind of get back into our normal cycle. So Rotorua, then Cairns, May 17th through the 21st. Then we'll go to Europe, Innsbruck, Austria, June 21st through the 25th. And then now, as per tradition, we're back to finishing the World Tour where it all began way back in 2004, Whistler, British Columbia. This year in July. Definitely the epicenter of mountain biking throughout the world, Whistler, BC. Come join us, bring your bike, ride the lifts, stand alongside the slopestyle course and cheer. Who knows where we'll be sitting with overall standings by the time we get into Whistler. But the story far from over here and stop #1 here in Rotorua. And you know what? We're talking about traditions. This is kind of a tradition too, a little bit of a rain delay in slopestyle here in Rotorua, but that rain makes the trails so good to ride. This dirt can handle it, it'll dry out quick. Alan, we've really been enjoying our time here. We had a big dump of rain on Tuesday, and then that kind of just made the trails perfect. And you were describing the conditions. Tell the people what we've been riding.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for more. Dry roots, wet dirt, in the jungle, just amazing, amazing trails here in Rotorua. You know, they call it the world's best year-round mountain bike riding area, and you know what? I'd have to agree. I've been here now. We were here in November. It was a different season. We've been here in March now, and it's been amazing both times.
There's no bad time to be here. Well, this year was exciting as well. We found ourselves on the Tanifa downhill race course on our trail bikes, having a blast, but also we had a race on that course last Sunday, a week ago. And it was full gas. We had Rob Warner in the booth calling the shots, some of the top riders in the world competing. Let's take a look back at some highlights from the Tanifa downhill.
Excuse me, you don't know where the Whakariwa forest is, do you?
Put your glasses on so that. Yeah, so what you got to do...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can save, yeah. I sort of know where we are.
Where, I think it's called Redwood's Cafe.
Yeah, right, yeah, up to there, left and back and save. I might have to get a taxi.
Oh, you're going to bike?
Wow. Hey, bro, what are you up to? Hop in. Hendy! How are you, mate?
All good, mate, you?
It's been a long time since I last saw you.
Yeah, maybe Whistler, half a dozen years ago.
If it was Whistler, that's why I can't remember it. So, Tuck, everyone in Rotorua seems to know you. I'm in the van with you now. Where are we going? What are we doing?
I'm going to take you up into some little special parts of the forest, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We've got these private charter shuttles, right? So we can go almost anywhere in the forest.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're like something out of Jurassic Park.
It's beautiful, eh?
Oh.
Yeah. So this is the Whakariwa forest, or Te Whakariwa Tonga Te Rotorua Wahio.
And I'm right in thinking, right, that this is actually a working forest that's invited mountain biking in.
As soon as those trees are cut, we go in and we start marking new trails.
The expectations are right. I've been told by so many people just what it's like. So let me go, I don't want to go too fast for you. Hurry the f*** up. Oh, it's slippery in here. It's slippery. Oh. Someone had a bit of an off.
Playing with a punga tree.
Right there, Dazzy. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, it's so good. That is literally the best trail riding I think I've ever done.
Oh, I'm glad you could come out
with
with us, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super nice to ride with you too.
Ah, it's good. Conditions were perfect.
I'm going to head off, bro. Nice to meet you, okay?
Mate.
Yep, sweet.
Thanks, Doug. See you in a bit, mate.
Need help?
You off?
Off to the tubs.
What?
Hot tubs.
Are you? How do I get out of here? Dazzy!
It's so good out here. It's good to see Rob had a blast while he was out here calling the downhill, enjoying his free time, getting out on the trails. We've been doing the same exact thing. It's been so good, Alan.
Yeah, it's been amazing out there. You know, I was actually on the downhill course when I saw Rob come through doing a course preview, and man, I wish I had that guy's skills in the muddy ruts.
Well, the rain is slowing down here. Actually, it's not even falling anymore, so make sure you don't go away. We will have the rest of run 1 here in the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza coming up after the break.
It's always a struggle out here. There's a big crowd. You've thought about this contest the whole life.
The bike events everyone talks about.
I'm going for podium for sure.
It's more than just watching any championships.
Let's go! Oh, he stops it! Oh my gosh! It's about progression, style, spirit, and community.
I don't know if I have to go as fast as I can or if I have to look like I'm fast.
And fast is fun.
360! Fire spin top tower! Here we go, we're off! An incredible ride! Whoa, mother!
That was a good one.
Bike on Red Bull TV. Have you ever stared at a picture and it came alive? They say every rider has a calling. 15 athletes on their mind trip through Europe. A fantastic ride into the wildest dreams of biking. The Old World, now available on Red Bull TV.
I'm Matt Jones, I'm a professional freestyle mountain bike rider and I'm attempting 3 world's first tricks that have never been done on a mountain bike. And I'm tackling this project with my twin brother Jono. It's going to be a journey. No points at all for that. Are you going to hit me if I stand here? No.
Matt Jones, Design and Conquer, now available on Red Bull TV.
What the f was that? Was it 5G? No, that must be Wi-Fi.
I heard it's magic. It's not magic, it's SRAM Eagle transmission.
Hey, I'm Lockie, I'm with SRAM, and we're here at Crankworx Rotorua, and we're going through Eagle transmission installation. So SRAM's Eagle transmission all centers around our universal derailleur hanger. To make sure your bike is compatible, jump over to the SRAM website to see if your bike will fit this new transmission. Installation with these components couldn't be any easier. We're going to be going through the 3 steps of prepare, hang, and tighten to get your transmission set up on your bike. Once your UDH is removed, we're going to install our red bushing. This slots into the frame like so. We're then going to go and pair our components together, holding down the axis button on the rear derailleur, controllers, and any other axis component that you may have. The SRAM Maxxis app will give you all the information for setup around chain length and your position of the derailleur for the setup guide. Once our components are paired, the chain is cut, we can then go to the hang stages of our installation. We start this by using a grease bolt and shafted bolt and install our derailleur onto our frame, like so. It's key here to tighten our derailleur until snug and then back it off 1 full rotation so the derailleur is still loose. We then install the wheel, tighten our axle until snug and back off 1 full rotation as well. Once our components are hanging, we can then install the chain using our brand new power lock and make sure we're in the right setup cog as dictated by the SRAM Maxxis app. Once our chain's on and we're in our setup position, we're then going to pull back on the lower cage of the chain and we're going to tighten our 8mm bolt on the derailleur, like so. Once it's nipped up, it's really important we use a torque wrench to get this up to 35 Newton meters. And with 1 nice confident click, I want to torque this one up to that 35 Newton meter mark. Cool, then it's as simple as tightening our axle to our manufacturer's specifications, clipping it out of that setup mode, and your bike is set up and ready to shift. For more information on setup and installation, jump over to the SRAM website or use the SRAM Maxxis app for all our technical videos, manuals, and next generation manuals.
Well, good news, friends. The tarps are coming off. The rain has officially stopped, and we know we have Nicholi Rogatkin up at the top of the course, just jonesing to drop this run. He's like in the rodeo when the bull is like locked up behind the thing. Then they open up the cage, he just goes storming out. It's gonna be good. We're hanging out in the booth right now. We got Robin Gooms with us. Robin, welcome. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
You've had a pretty good week so far. I think the highlight, I'm guessing, has to be speed and style. Tell me how that went.
Oh, it was insane. Like, I honestly didn't think that was going to happen. I was not sure about my riding, so stoked to pull off some flip combos. I think Caroline put the pressure on, so.
Yeah, I mean, Caroline can flip, but it's a gnarly move. It's a high consequence, big risk, big reward, but you played your cards really well. You were doing straight flips in all the preliminary rounds. Then when you got into a little bit heavier heats, like going up against Caroline, you started with the variations. Have you been getting a lot of training in, or was this kind of, you know, right off the couch first event of the year, see what happens?
Yeah, it was straight off the couch, actually. I mean, I've been riding bikes heaps, but like I didn't really spend much time getting upside down, so it was just in the moment, felt really good. So yeah, just sent it.
It's got to be way harder to get those backflip one-foot can-cans as opposed to just a straight flip. What do you use, an airbag, mulch?
I had an airbag sesh like the morning, 2 mornings ago, really.
Okay, I gotta ask then. We're now in, and you have won the first one. You kind of are coming off of an off season where you haven't been practicing those flips. Is there something in your mind that you're going to go back? Like, okay, you know, there's more of these events. We got Cairns, we got Innsbruck. I know you got more in the bag. I've seen more out of you. Are you going to be focusing a little more on those events throughout the year, or just kind of playing it live?
Not so much focusing on the events. I just want to focus on my tricks and grow my bag of tricks, and hopefully that just keeps reflecting.
Be a better
you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
You definitely have more tricks than most in the field, and this is a time where there's like a ton of progression. There's a bunch more events for women rolling. Would you be stoked to see slopestyle at Crankworx for the women here in the future?
Yeah, when's it coming?
Right?
I think there's already a handful of girls that are probably ready and really keen for it, so I want to see it come.
It'll be good. I feel like we keep talking about it. It's going to happen. There's definitely a lot of gold events offering it up for the women. Did you see Caroline at District Ride last summer?
Yeah, that was sick.
Insane.
Wish I could have gone.
Big stuff. How about formation coming up?
I got a text message yesterday. It's actually been postponed.
Okay.
So
But it's going to happen anyways.
it'll happen eventually, yeah.
See there. I'm sure
for
a
now.
big season with proving grounds and stuff, a couple events in the works, in the planning stages. So we'll see more out of you on the World Tour, plus some of those free ride events. But as a spectator right now, you get to take the helmet off after a long week of competition. We still have a few riders left in run number 1. What have been your impressions so far from the riders we've seen today?
It's sick. I think I've seen a few crashes, so everyone's throwing down really heavy, and I think they're going to go harder in the second runs, maybe because they have to, but
For
these
sure.
guys are going big.
Dawid Godziek, the guy to beat right now, 91.5. We got this screen right here. Take a look at it. We're going to watch. Give me your reactions on David's run. This is the one to beat at the moment. Opposite whip there, linked it up into the regular triple whip. Did you watch much of the slopestyle practice?
No, I haven't. But this is gnarly, isn't it?
So he had a huge crash this morning on the same trick that he used to finish this run. Look, landed a little squirrel and still stomps it.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Yeah, it's so cool for you guys to be able to be out here. You know, maybe not that slopestyle platform for the women yet, but we know as soon as there's a platform, you guys are going to be out there and excelling and pushing the limits, because that's what happens every time, right? It's just that platform you need, and then boom, the evolution explodes.
We'll be training for when it happens.
Oh, I'm gonna be ready for it. I cannot wait to see you out there.
Who do you have your money on for the win here today?
Oh, I'm putting my money on Ricky, Nicholi Rogatkin. I feel like he's been throwing down, and I just think if he can hold it together, he'll go big.
Yeah, well, we're lucky because he's the next rider to drop. The tarps are off. They're Tiger torching the wood features. And you can see right there why we make sure we take the time after the skies open and drop a little bit of water, because that wood is super slippery. But you can also see underneath that course builder's right foot there, you got that metal mesh. It helps the grip a bit, but on those wooden sections like the spine, you know, ideally on that spine, you don't land straight. Sometimes you're coming out of 360s and landing, you know, on a bit of an angle. It'd be so slippery. So we're taking the time, but like you mentioned, Alan, the forecast looks good. It doesn't look like it's supposed to continue raining, does it?
Yeah, I think this is just a little bit of a hiccup here, but yeah, definitely want to make sure that everything's dry. The last thing that these riders need in their mind is traction. You know, they're focused on their rotations, their spins, their distance, their speed. getting their feet back on the pedals, all of those things. Traction is just one of those things they need to put out of their mind. So it's a nice thing to see that these course builders are taking care of it for them.
Well, it's also good that the next rider to drop is straight up veteran, not only on this circuit, but at this particular course as well. We were looking at the McGazza trophy down there. And what that is, that's the trophy that goes to the winner of this event every year. They get their name engraved on the plaque. It's a prestigious plaque to have your name engraved on. There's only 4 names on that plaque, right?
Yeah, 4 names on that plaque. We had Brandon Semenuk, Brett Reeder on there a few times, Emil Johansson on there a few times. We have Nicholi on there, but yeah, it's definitely a prestigious place to get your name on. I can see your name on there one day.
Fingers crossed one day.
Yeah.
So we talked about Erik Fedko at the beginning of the show. Just a lot of crazy issues for him so far this week during practice. Couple ankle issues and then an arm nerve issue that he's been dealing with. Let's take a look back at some of these things he's been going through. Early week in practice, the 450 downside double tail kind of elevated over the bike, levitating, having a hard time getting back on. This is where he hurt, I believe, his right ankle.
Yeah, it was a big stomp down there. Maybe a heel bruise that he had, but he went to the x-ray, made sure that it's going to be okay, showing the fans and his competition that he's all good to go there. But then today, unfortunately, in warm-ups, he had another issue, Cam.
Yeah, he's been styling out these backflip tail-ups, catching early and just pushing the bars in to style it out. His foot slipped off, his left foot this time. You're going to see it here on the left side of your screen. Watch that left foot. Upon impact, slips off, rolls the ankle, and once he took the shoe and sock off, that ankle was big. We said, oh man, hopefully he's back in time for the next stop in Australia. And next thing you know, the sock's back on, the shoe's laced up, and he's back up at the top of the course doing more practice runs. Yeah.
Yeah, to put that into perspective, if you've ever jammed your finger, what that feels like, it's a very similar situation, but it's an ankle. And you got to be fit, you got to be ready to go out here, but Fedko's got the heart of a lion. He's pushing it, multiple injuries. Look at that smile on his face.
It looks easier for him to ride right now than it does for him to walk.
Oh,
and he's pushing through.
That's my life, Ken.
Yeah, you're right. You guys should see Alan walk. It's hilarious. So you got your money on Nicholi, Robin. I feel like we should get a little bit of a betting pool going here. I'll take my pick and Alan will take his pick, but I want to hear your thoughts on Emil Johansson.
Oh, I know he's been training in Queenstown all summer, so he's probably more than ready, I think.
In the women's field right now with like the up and coming dirt jumpers and slopestyle riders that we may not know yet, who do you think is like the youngster who has potential to be like, you know, the next Emil for the women's field?
There's young Patrizia. She was racing the speed and style the other day. She's got so much like technical skills. She's got suey bars and stuff. Incredible. So I think she's gonna go a long way.
Yeah, we were hearing about her actually. It's exciting to think, you know, we got to watch this whole process from the birth of this sport of slopestyle to where we find ourselves now. And with the women's field, we get to watch that same thing happen again. We're going to see our heroes emerge.
So many different ways we could go to.
What's this guy doing? He's scared. He's shy. Don't look at me. So with this being the first stop, we're seeing who's kind of emerging as front runners in the King and Queen overall. Is that something that you focus on? I know you did sign up for a lot of events out here. Or are you more lasered into speed and style?
Just speed and style, whip off as well. That's just like a bit of fun, but I just really want to practice my tricks, and this is a good kind of platform to do that.
For sure. Who do you got your money on for Queen this season?
I'll probably put my money on CB. I know how hungry she is.
She's making smart decisions right now too, like speed and style. She, you know, I wanted to see her go for flipping, right? Because then we could have your flip variations going up against her straight flips. Maybe as the season heats up, she'll decide to do what you're doing and just put all the chips on the table. We'll see. the history of Queen of Crankworx. We've been doing it since 2015. Jill Kintner, she was the queen 3 times. Via Verbeek was the queen twice. Annika Bearden, the first Queen of Crankworx, and Caroline Buchanan would love to have her face on this list more than once. She's making a good run at it. She's sitting in first in the queen overall standings right now. And then how about King? I mean, we see some riders like Jackson Frew who've made the decision to say, all right, you know, I'm still gonna do some World Cups, but I'm a Crankworx rider. I'm gonna focus on trying to get my head on this little list right here. We've had just one repeat offender there, Bas van Steenbergen, the last 2 seasons, the king of Crankworx. Bernard Kerr, Adrian Laurent, Thomas Slavic. Blanky's still running it, and Mitch Ropalata, you never know what he's gonna do, but Bas van Steenbergen is looking to make it 3 in a row this season. Who do you have your money on, Alan?
Man, it's tough. It's too early to tell. You know, Baz is doing the same thing Caroline's doing. You know, true professionals making all the right decisions. You know, not necessarily walking away with a win, but walking away with the points lead in the King. That's definitely a win this early in the season. Baz on a bit of a break here, done competing for the week. It's good to see him enjoying himself out there, having a beer, watching the show.
Yeah, it's kind of fun watching these questions come in the chat. Local dirt jumper from the town I live in say, hey, it's Chase, you want to ride the pit when you get back from New Zealand? Yes, I do. I heard it snowed, though, so maybe I'll just stay here because the dirt's perfect. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm keen to ride when we get back. Throw your questions into the chat box, and we'll answer them. Robin, do you spend a ton of time riding in Rotorua?
Not lately. I spent heaps of time here like last year, but have been in Queenstown all summer, so it'll be good to get back.
Do you have some of your favorite trails out here?
Absolutely, I love this place. The dirt's so good.
Alan and I, we've got our little routine right now. We've got our trails that we like, and I feel like there's so many trails. You can kind of ride all day and be able to touch something different so many days in a row. Oh, this is when we found ourselves on the downhill track.
Yeah, this was impressive. I'm gonna preface this by I only told Cam what was coming, and he had no idea. I spent 3 days on the downhill track doing the race, but Cam, like a true madman, just going in blind, making it happen.
He goes, all right, well, the jump line flow's pretty good. Just do what I do. And then the last one, if I have the speed, I'll go for it. He says it's 60 feet, so if you're just on my tire, it should go good. When we came up to this one, I was like, oh, you're not joking. This thing is not rollable.
Yeah, a little bit of a different experience on a trail bike, I'll tell you that. But luckily, we were able to make it over. Keep having a good time out there in the forest.
A little double tap there. I needed like 4 more inches of distance right there.
The fact that there are those jumps out in the local riding area is just a testament to the skill that is in this area and how much you can actually improve your riding.
Well, how about the kid we were talking to today, that kid Charlie, he's 14. He goes, oh yeah, yesterday I teed up those jumps on the downhill track. 14-year-old rider jumping the 60-foot double, and he shows me videos of himself doing a backflip. I go, oh man, backflips at 14. He goes, yeah, I learned them when I was 11.
How many years before we're gonna see Charlie out here, you think?
No, it's gonna happen. That's what we said. We said, hey, sign up for some races next year, man. Robin, when did you learn to backflip?
A few years ago, I think. On the Rotorua airbag actually here. Just started getting upside down, kind of self-taught, and landed on my head a bunch of times. And then after that, it was like every chance I got to ride someone's bag, I was just like, hit them.
I think it was it, you're gonna know, but was it Innsbruck where you were the first one to do a backflip in women's speed and style?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it like clicking it and dragging it from a training jump to a jump on a speed and style course that's always just a little bit more quirky than where you learned it?
It was nerve-wracking at first, but the ramps at speed and styles are normally pretty good. So Innsbruck was mellow and chill, so it was like probably one of the bigger ones I'd done then, but the ramps were super nice, so it just worked.
Have you walked around on the slope course to see how tall the ramps are?
Yeah, they look good.
I was talking
They're poppy.
They're poppy for sure, and they're tall. Talking to Felix Törnqvist, you know, it's his first Crankworx Slopestyle. Oh, look at this. Ewan's got some exercises to keep Nicholi warm. I like that sign out there that says, Nicholi, be my dad. But anyways, Felix was saying, man, they're way bigger than I was expecting. They're like 13 feet tall. They're so big.
Yeah, they're massive.
The
massive.
girls are on.
Hey, look at the crew.
Robin, I got to ask you, you know, this explosion in the last, like, maybe 5 years, just with the platform and the place for you guys to be showcased out there, the women's freeride movement. Is there any, like, you know, tips you could give a rider, a young female rider that's out there wanting to kind of take that next step? Maybe they're, you know, just kind of getting their feet wet in the freeriding scene. Is there any tips you have for them?
Oh, not too sure. I guess just like keep working, like just have fun with it. Try to learn as much as you can and take every opportunity.
Yeah, that's definitely good advice. Take every opportunity that comes your way. You never know when you're going to get another one.
We have somebody in the chat saying, why do they burn the ramps? We can explain that one.
Oh, it's actually pretty cold out here, so we're just trying to stay warm.
Those tiger torches, they're using those to dry the ramps out. Water on those ramps makes it so slippery. Rubber tires, wet wood, so those tiger torches just dry up all that rain. Itsy Bitsy Spider can go up the spout again. And Robin, you can go down the stairs again and go hang out with your friends and enjoy the show. I got to thank you so much for joining us up here. It's freaking awesome having you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right, the rest of run number 1. 5 more riders to do that. And then, of course, it's a best of 2 run format, so a ton more slopestyle left to go. Join us after the break.
Pump up your tires for the bike content on Red Bull TV. And check out the best live events, feature films, and shows. Download the Red Bull TV app for free. And sign in to watch all of our content offline. Download the app now.
Look at the time from Stevie Smith. He takes his first ever World Cup win.
The making of a legend. Stevie Smith, a.k.a. the Chainsaw.
He was a bit unpredictable, he was creative, he was wild. He did have a great life, full of giggles and laughs and adrenaline.
The untold story of a true champion. Long live Chainsaw.
Now available on Red Bull TV.
Really awesomely fun.
If you want to get to the top, you have to dig deep.
Pull the dirt down, shovel the dirt over, pull some more dirt down. Bingo, bango, bongo.
A story of dedication, teamwork, and friendship. Steps to the top. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Good news right there. Tarps are off. Sun is out. We're going to get back to action here in the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza. A brief little intermission there after water started falling from the sky, but we'll take it and we'll get right back into it. We've got Nicholi Rogatkin, the top of the course, the next rider to drop. And he's going to be eyeing up that score to beat, the 91.5 held by Dawid Godziek. And here we go. We are officially back.
As if we needed the tension on Nicholi's run to build anymore. You see him nodding his head. Yeah, he's ready to go. He is hyped up. We know this is going to be big. Come on, Nicholi. You got this, buddy.
Here we go. Let's get this, he says. 5 Crankworx wins. He got his last win in Cairns last season. He's fired up to get another one here today. He's been training hard. Here we go. Nicholi Rogatkin.
Let's see what he's got off the drop.
Yeah.
Front flip straight in. A little bit of a head bob, but keeping his speed good.
Yes.
Nice corked 810. Let's see what he's got on this big jump.
Yeah, Castrol tail whip.
Castrol tail whip. Okay, Nicholi's got some momentum. This is where he gets dangerous. Double opposite tail whip on the cannon. Nice air over the stump. Tuck no hander on the spine.
Come on.
Gets that cash roll on the step down. Looked like Thompson. What's he got?
Yeah! Front foot horseman and tuck no hander. Blowing out the back tire. Soft landing. Yeah!
That's Nicholi.
Oh man, what a crazy crazy run to drop after a long rain delay.
Yeah, Cam, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx him, but that is so hard to get iced like that and be able to come out and do something that intense.
The showman has even added pyrotechnics to his slopestyle run.
Yeah, you got to believe that that tire blowout was due to that cash roll, that oppo cash roll coming
watch
down
his
the
head
step
here.
down.
Oh, to be able to look back up, that's such a tight bowl, and to get composure back to do this overspin cork 7.
Yeah, Nicholi, that momentum building right here, that cashy tail whip coming around perfect, airing all the way over.
Where do you think the tire started coming off the rim?
I think we're gonna see maybe on the step down when he did that opposite cash roll.
Oh, man.
I think he landed a little back tire, able to get that Superman Indian off.
A huge score. The score to beat a 91.5.
So watch his back tire land off this step down.
Look at, that's a regular cash roll.
Oh yeah,
still.
regular, my bad, good call. But he was a little back tire, and I think maybe that's what might have affected his rear tire, because this, I can't see what he did here that could have.
I think he's got a button on his bar, and he just wants to add dramatic effect and blow that tire up when you stomp your last trick. Look at this. Boom!
Man, look at that. Look how much control. He didn't even get loose after his tire blew up.
Okay, so the judges are thinking back to Dawid Godziek's run. They gave it a 91.5. They're watching all the replays of this run. What is the score going to be?
We know he's got more in the tank. It's nice to get that foundation for the season, get that foundation for the Rotorua event that he's at right now, and stomping that first run. That momentum's going to carry for sure into the next one, no matter what the score is.
Tom Isted is in second place with an 88. Dawid Godziek is in first place with a 91.5. Where is Nicholi going to be once the score comes in? I love how he's not even changing the tire. He's like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this, get my score. I'll deal with that in a minute.
Yeah, here it is. That regular cash roll. That was my bad, not an opposite one. Expecting so much out of Nicholi. Let's see that back tire. Yeah, see that right there, that rollover? So right now he's on borrowed time. That thing could explode at any moment. It's a ticking time bomb, and he does not know when it's going to go off. But he still leans forward, gets the bar spin front flip to tuck no-hander, and just in time, because what happened when he landed?
The perfect landing.
Kaboom.
Oh, he's so stoked that thing didn't blow up before the McGazza money booter.
Or off the lip.
Off the lip would be worst case scenario. All right, score coming in for Nicholi Rogatkin, an 85, putting him in third place right there, right behind Tom Isted. Remember how big that run was from Tom Isted, doing that cork 7 on the step down, and then the twister on the last jump. Nicholi says, I'll take it.
Yeah, he'll take it, because if you go back to last season when we were here, not in Rotorua, but starting the season off, he had 2 big mistakes in Innsbruck to start off the season, which took him all the way to Cairns to pick up where he left off. So that foundation is set, but you know what else is set? Tim Bringer, and look at the consistency out of Tim Bringer over the last year.
Let's just think about how close he's been to wins right here. 3 second places right off the top step of the podium. You got to think that second place in Whistler was the biggest one. The crowd there is one of the biggest crowds we've ever seen ever in this sport. And he was second place. Tim Bringer, second place here just back in November. We have 3 riders left to go here in run number 1. Next up, the Frenchman Tim Bringer on course.
Nobody taller out there.
So
nice.
Chill.
Perfect backflip off that flat drop.
Oh boy.
Oh! Going for that 450 double whip. Looked like his angle was just a little bit too far to the left on that hip, causing him to go deep and over-rotate. Also looks like he blew out that back tire. You see him rubbing that cheek. Maybe a little bit of a hipper there. Was it 2 flat tires? Is it? Yeah, both tires blowing up.
I mean, I would not want to beat Tim Bringer's tires.
So yeah, watch where he lands, Cam. Boom. Yeah, he got all twisted up there, but I'm glad to see him get up. Yeah, he sees a little bit left off the lip, so that carries him, hangs him out over the flat, and it causes him to over-rotate, and both tires exploding at the exact same time.
Sounds like a shooting range out here the past 10 minutes.
I'm glad I'm not that bike, I'll tell you what.
Tim Bringer's a big man. It's crazy to think that he started out on BMX. Could you imagine Tim Bringer on a BMX bike?
No, I can't. I think it looks like he's on a BMX sometimes when he's on his
on the 26-inch dirt jumper.
This is what I love right here, okay? These guys are at the top of their game, the most fierce competitors. Look how much fun they're having, Cam. They're battling and enjoying it at the same time. I love to see this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Everybody gets to ride their own run, and they do cheer each other on. You know, it doesn't have to be that way, but it is, which is really cool. Fedko. Crazy day so far, crazy week so far. The fact that he's up at the top of the course is a testament to him how much he loves this stuff and how much determination he has. We got 2 riders left to go in run number 1 here. Fedko, 2nd place in Cannes last season, 2nd place in Innsbruck last season. Another rider who has yet to crack into that top spot on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour, but a rider who has everything in his bag of tricks in order to do so if it goes his way. There we go, Erik Fedko on course.
Fedko showing his heart out here. Nice truck to X on the drop.
Yeah, jeez, he caught
360 bar spin to tail it. Actually, that's a 450 long ways on that hip. Yeah, signature Indian Air 360 out of Fedko. I love seeing that. Wall ride to bar out. 360 downside whip on the cannon. Look how smooth he is so far. He's got no choice. 2 blown out ankles and a sore arm. 3 whip on the spine. Flip bar spin on the step down. Doing it. Perfect here. Come on, Fedko. What do you got, buddy?
Last jump for Erik Fedko. Oh, 360 windshield wiper. He rolls away.
He stomped the foot.
Oh, man.
That ankle's all right. Little bit of a foot stomp there, but man, I cannot believe how clean that run was. When you have to be clean, sometimes, you know, it takes your mind out of the event a little bit, and you just end up being able to do it. Unfortunately, just one little misstep.
Yeah, you hear Ben right there. He says, from not even wanting to ride to stomping that run, insane. Yeah, he caught pedals so early on all those tricks except for that last one. He ended with the hammer, but this is what we love out of him. Stylish extension maneuvers while rotating.
Yeah, the style out of Fedko is second to none. Nose up, suicide out, and getting the bar spin in.
So tech.
Up and over the stump. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Triple combo up over the stump. Nice 3-whip on the spine. Perfectly executed bar flip, nosing in, keeping his speed. And then this, we saw him, this is where he injured his right ankle earlier in the week. 360 tail one way, catches with 1 foot and kicks that tail whip back the other way. We call that a windshield wiper. And then watch this left ankle, which is what he injured earlier today. Stomping it down on the ground.
The good thing it didn't twist, though. It looks like he was able to like keep the soles of the shoe to the ground, but it's already so tender.
Yeah, so much heart and so much soul coming out of Fedko. You can tell how bad he wants it. He's not here because he has to be, he's here because he wants to be. Trying to take advantage of every opportunity, even though he's more than beat up. 2 blown out ankles and a sore arm. Out here just killing it.
Yeah, it's actually a nerve thing in his arm, and he's got Ewan giving him kind of a massage to loosen it up in between runs. He can only do 1 run at a time before he's got to loosen that up again. So that's a huge run. The big question is, what's the score going to be here? Before this run, we just saw Nicholi Rogatkin move into 3rd place with an 85. Tom Isted is in 2nd with an 88. And Dawid Godziek is still leading this one with a 91.5. Yeah, he got good extension on the suicide no-hander. I wasn't even sure he was going to get enough time for these bar spins, but he snuck it in. The judges making sure they get all these replays so they come up with a number they can feel confident with.
And I hope Fedko has a reservation at the hot pools tomorrow, because man, he's going to be sore. He's going to know he did something today. no questions asked. Look at the focus with everything that he's been dealing with over the week and just being absolutely perfect at this point of his run.
I mean, how hard is it to spin a 360, kick a tail up your normal direction, stop that, and then get it going back the other way?
Yeah, it's not something that I was ever able to do. I don't even think I even tried it on a foam pit or a resi. I was never the windshield wiper guy. But Fedko coming out here, how's that going to affect his score? You know, I mean, we're so excited in pump farm because we know what he's going through. The judges are going to have to take that foot down into account, but he is out here grinding. I don't know how it's going to be. There it is there, a 71.
Good enough for 7th place right now. So great to see Fedko taking his runs with all he's going through. Hanging out in 7th place.
Looking at the comments coming in, Fedko getting nothing but love and support out of his fans out there watching this event go down.
Ooh. Okay. Emil Johansson 4 months ago had a big moment here, but let's take it all the way back to 2021. This guy's been on a crazy streak. Obviously, Cannes, the streak was broken, but he picked up right where he left off last year. But 2021 is when we saw him go for that opposite 360 double whip. He won his first Triple Crown, a feat that was at one point thought to be impossible. And then we found ourselves back here last year, and Emil found himself with the opportunity to do the unthinkable again, to make it 2 years in a row. And guess what he did?
Yeah, he came out and he performed, and he took his Triple Crown for the 2nd time, able to come back from that miscue in Cannes.
He's a rider with 9 Crankworx Slopestyle wins. 8 of those were in a row. And he's back here in Rotorua right now. The crowd is getting loud. I can hear them, and he's dropping in.
Yes, straight backflip X up off the drop.
Oh!
450 downside, double tail whip.
Bar spin to double tail whip.
Oh, he did get the bar spin in there. There's that opposite 360 double tail whip. That was a finishing run 2 years ago that we just saw. Now doing it mid-set, downside whip off the wall. Backflip bar spin off the cannon. Nose up, huge invert out, showing that he's more than just tricks, but all the style as well.
Oh!
Regular double tail with 360 coming into
this. Here we go, Emil. Whoa! Opposite 360 bar spin, a double downside tail whip. Huge run for Emil Johansson.
Just look.
Oh, jeez. Oh my.
It's so amazing to see the evolution of Emil's riding, looking at what he did here 2 years ago, stepping it up incredibly.
Just like every Emil Johansson run, as soon as he does his last trick, I can't help, my brain starts thinking about the mirror image of these tricks further up the course and how well curated these slopestyle runs are.
Yeah, it's a good thing there's 2 of us calling this, Cam. Sometimes he's got so much going on, it's hard to see what it is.
He's sneaking these tricks in, man.
Hilariously insane. Hilariously insane.
I love this combo here, the flat drop backflip, but getting the variation with the X up. It's not something we see very much. I feel like I've never seen that before as well. The 360, the 450, bar spin to double downside whip. That was complemented at the bottom. And here we go, everything is opposite here, Alan.
Yeah, this guy just throwing us for a loop. Wall ride to tail whip off. That's the first time we've seen a tail whip off the wall in this competition. Boosting off the cannon, backflip bar spin, nose up, invert off.
Watch how cleanly he lands his step down. It's like, all right, well, whatever he wants to do, he can do it because he has perfect speed.
All the way to the shoulder.
And watch this. Oh my goodness. The regular 360 double tail up. He catches pedals early. Those pedals go right into the point where he wants them on his signature Etnies shoes there. And then he dropped the hammer. opposite 360, throwing the bars his opposite way. Now he gets to kick his tail up his regular natural direction, but it's a downside tail up, and he does 2 of them, catches pedals early, and cleanliness.
And to put it into perspective a little bit, what opposite is and how hard that is, you know, right here, he's at the pinnacle of what we're doing in this sport. You don't see basketball players in the NBA Finals shooting three-pointers switch-handed. But that's basically what he just did, and he absolutely executed with perfection, adding another level of difficulty.
Here we go, the score coming in for Emil, 93.75, of course. That is the score to beat now.
Yeah, bumping up that benchmark by a couple of points. And here we go with that tail whip. 1, 2, feet to the pedals. Little bit of a bounce out right there. But I don't think the judges are gonna negatively affect him in any way. You saw that score. Upping the benchmark by 2 points. So he'll be our last man down in today's competition, a situation that he is quite used to these days.
Emil, congratulations on stomping that run. That was a huge one. A question I have for you is, you were just here 4 months ago, obviously winning the Triple Crown. Is it kind of wild to be back here so soon, same course to kick off this season?
Totally. It's probably, yeah, definitely the shortest off season I ever been through. So to come into this one, it kind of feels like just an additional stop. At the same time, I feel like I didn't have enough time to prepare. So yeah, it's never easy to start a new season, I reckon.
You look so fired up on that last trick. Walk me through that.
I basically waited till my run to do it to dirt, so I definitely got my nerves going. I wanted to link it with a trick up top, so I got them both ways in the run, and yeah, managed to make it happen, but it was scary.
Nailed it, man. Can't wait to watch the rest of this competition. You now have the score to beat. Way to go, Emil.
Thank you.
So cool, man. That was part of his thought process, was mixing that 450 bar spin to double downside whip on that second feature, that hip, mixing it with the mirror image of that trick on the bottom. So much thought goes into these runs.
Yeah, so much. Just really choreographing it from the top to bottom, making it as aesthetically pleasing as possible and executing to perfection on that. The height was there, the control, the speed, the extension on all the moves. There's really nothing that I could say he could have done better there. And you know, he's only 2 points ahead, and we know that some of those other riders behind him that will be going a little bit sooner, they got room to grow within their first run.
Well, the first thing I'm thinking about right now is Tim Bringer crashed on the second feature. We run number 2 in reverse start order. So the guy who's got so many second places is now going to be starting this competition. He's a guy who could definitely win this competition. He'll be the first to drop in run number 2. He'll be followed by Paul Couderc, another rider who only made it 2 features down the course. Miguel Guerrero only made it 1 feature through. So a lot of these riders have huge runs planned that we only got to see just the very beginning of in run number 1. He'll get another opportunity to do so. Tom, I said Dawid Godziek and Emil Johansson will be the last 3 riders down the course.
Yeah, looking at that with Dawid Godziek in second place, remember, he did have that kind of non-trick over the jump where the wall ride is. So we know that he can definitely push that score.
Well, Ben Thompson sitting in 5th place right now. That's exciting to see, just his second Crankworx Slopestyle appearance. Can he hold on to it? Can Emil Johansson hold on to the top spot? Well, we will know shortly. Second runs coming up after the break. Don't go away.
In the zone as I feel in the vibe, like in the way that I groove on my.
It's always a struggle out here. There's a big crowd. You've thought about this contest the whole life.
The bike events everyone talks about.
I'm going for podium for sure.
It's more than just watching any championships.
Oh, he stops it!
It's about progression, style, spirit, and community.
I don't know if I have to go as fast as I can or if I have to look like I'm fast.
And fast is fun.
360, bar spin, top tail. Here we go, we're off. An incredible ride. Oh, mother. That was a good one.
Bike on Red Bull TV. Have you ever stared at a picture and it came alive? They say every rider has a calling. 15 athletes on their mind trip through Europe. A fantastic ride into the wildest dreams of biking. The Old World.
Now available on Red Bull TV.
I'm Matt Jones, I'm a professional freestyle mountain bike rider, and I'm attempting 3 world's first tricks that have never been done on a mountain bike. And I'm tackling this project with my twin brother Jono. It's going to be a journey. No points at all for that. Are you going to hit me if I stand here? No.
Matt Jones, Design and Conquer. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Welcome back, Slopestyle fans. Second runs here, almost underway. Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza. Crazy run 1 round here to kick off the 2023 season. We've got Emil Johansson in the lead, Dawid Godziek in second, and Tom Isted in third. But a guy who's got a handful of second places, but still no win, crashing out on the second feature in run number 1. It all comes down to this for Tim Bringer. This guy could definitely do it if he gets his plan.
Yeah, remember we saw Tim with 2 flat tires, so quick turnaround, straight backflip off the drop, and let's see if he can get this time. Nice.
Oh!
There it is. What? Even adding a bar spin in, which we didn't see when he had those double flats.
No way!
No-handed double backflip. Oh, 270 bar spin all the way up and over the wall ride feature. Flip whip on the cannon.
Come on, hold it together, Tim.
Little nose press to toboggan.
Oh, the amplitude.
So much double back down. Here we go. He's got this.
Tim Bringer, backflip, double tail. Oh no, he goes down. Oh, that seriously had a chance to take it. Oh man. Yeah.
Big impact there for Tim. Getting it all the way down to the bottom there. Man, one of those things that stuck out to me we didn't even see in that first run is that 450 double tail whip. He was actually going for a bar spin, and he executed it to perfection in this run. Unfortunately, just having a little bit of a miscue there on that backflip double tail whip.
So chill on this flat drop backflip. He's got so much strength. Here we go.
1, 2, catches, and then throws the bars with a 450-degree rotation. And then coming into this jump, one of the only riders that we're seeing do this consistently, a double backflip tuck no-hander. To explain the commitment to that trick is so hard unless you've actually tried a double backflip. Getting that flip whip, clean to pedals off the cannon. I liked this right here. Little nose press up, toboggan out. And you called it, Cam, the spine, the amplitude on the tuck no-handed hair, that tuck no-handed 360 that he had on the street spine. Watch how high he goes.
To the moon.
Yeah, the cameraman couldn't even keep him in frame. And then this, that's why he went so high, because you need extra speed to generate the momentum for that double backflip rotation. Okay, let's see if we can see what happened here. His pedals look like they're staying pretty straight. Gets that front foot on. Oh, and then right there, look. He got that front foot on and ended up getting about a half of a back pedal, and his back foot just not able to get on that pedal without it being where he was expecting it to be, and kind of couldn't stop that body rotation, taking a bit of a body slam.
Oh man, Tim Bringer going all out in run number 2, unfortunately crashing on the last jump. That would have, man, I would have loved to have seen what that score would have been. The judges are like, whew, we don't have to make that decision.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Paul Couderc. Let's remind the viewers, Alan, how he started his first run.
Yeah, another one with some serious potential. Paul pulling off that half cab on the flat drop, which is where you do a 180 before you actually go off. And he's going to go off of this 20-foot flat drop backwards. Let's see if he does it again.
Yes. Oh, God.
And he gets it. Nice. Straight back in. Gets the 450 whip this time. Okay, Paul, let's keep it going. This second feature, that's an opposite cork 7. Off the wall ride, getting the bar spin, keeping the flow. Backflip bar spin on the cannon. Plenty of speed. Nose press up. Trucks the spine, coming into the step down. Flip whip off.
Nice.
And okay, he's got the speed he needs to do something on this last jump.
Hard on the pedals. Paul Couderc, double backflip, cleans it.
To perfection. That's the run that I expected out of Paul Couderc. I've been watching him all week looking absolutely clean on everything he did. So stoked to get that run from the top to the bottom.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it was so good. It's great to see those half cabs coming back.
Yeah, and this is that half cab. What is that? It's going to 180. Now he's going backwards, and then he just flies off the ramp completely blind, just knowing that the landing will be there when he comes around. Getting that nose press to toboggan. Up and over the stump, trucking the spine. And right here, flip whip, straight to his tires, gets a pedal in, and this double backflip. You see him spot the landing and then lean back and pull that bike in straight to the landing on the second rotation. Absolutely as clean as a double backflip can get.
Man, after seeing Tim Bringer crash on the last jump, I was so stoked to see Paul put it top to bottom here. Ending with that double backflip as the hammer. So much pressure when you mess up your first run on the second feature. It all comes down to that last opportunity. Now, where are the judges going to put this run?
Yeah, you can hear what Paul put into this. He's breathing hard. A little bit of emotion in his face, bumping him all the way up.
Bumping Ben Thompson out of the top 5 there. Paul Couderc currently sitting in 5th, rewarded for that run. That was a great performance. All right, out of Spain, Miguel Guerrero. Remember run number 1, it was a 360 triple bar spin on the start drop. Let's see if he goes for it again.
Yeah, unbelievably clean with the bar spin combos. We've been surfing his Instagram, and there it is.
Oh, no!
All good, bro?
Miguel Guerrero going down again on the 360 triple bar spin. That is an insane way to start your run.
Yeah, it's a long way down from that drop, and for him to be able to get 3 bar spins off is super, super impressive. Unfortunately, a slight over rotation, it looked like, and his tires didn't slide out. They actually got a whole bunch of grip there as he was leaned in and kind of shot him off the course. Unfortunately, not able to keep going, having a bit of a rough go here this weekend.
I mean, you're one of the early riders to drop in run number 1. You crash, you have all that time to wait, and then this is the first trick you have to do in your second run.
Yeah, you see his weight just got a little bit off, and his front tire bit in the soft dirt out of the groove and just sent him off to his rider's right.
That was run number 1 right there. He slid out of it nicely. Good to see him up. Yeah, he definitely got pitched over the front on this one, so I'm glad that he's rolling away under his own power. A little bit of a crooked stem, but that's all good.
So what do you think, Cam? Maybe a little bit of nerves getting to him there?
Yeah, I mean, he's new to the Crankworx World Tour, but he's not phoning it in. He's going for it with huge combos on the first feature. Hopefully we'll see him maintain points and stay on tour, but that's another part of the story that we haven't really talked about too much is 14 spots. That's all you get in the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour. To get here is one thing, to stay here is another, and every event counts for accumulating those points.
Yeah, and that's absolutely why we're seeing some of this emotion come out of him here. He knows this opportunity that he has, and unfortunately just not able to capitalize on it today.
Griffin Paulson in the start gate right now. Griffin, another rider who had issues in run number 1. Here's a look at how he's setting up his Rock Shocks Pike DJ for this slopestyle competition.
Yeah, 200 PSI on the fork. That's going to be super, super firm, giving him all the momentum in the transitions he needs, but also supporting him on some of these hard landings. Griffin having a few issues in his first run, so someone that's definitely looking to move up that leaderboard.
All right, big deep breath, and Griffin Paulson is on course.
Gets that front flip on the flat drop, even smoother than the first run. Double downside tail whip on the hip. Coming into the second big jump. Yeah, double whip, looking clean. Oh, and a fronty, all the way up and over the wall right feature. Truck to X off the cannon. Flip whip, oh, nosing it in, perfect. Bar spin flip on the spine. Front bar spin, yes, okay, Griffin. Keep it together, buddy.
Here we go to cap it off for Griffin Paulson, a double backflip, clean.
Yo, that was such a slow rotation. So calm and so comfortable the entire way down. Man, I cannot pinpoint anything that he could have done better along that run. The flip whip on that hip up there above the spine, he came in so nosedive. Man, you can tell that's what he wanted. Those are the feelings he was looking for.
Oh, that was so good. Clean to the pedals early on this 360 double tail. Take a look.
Yeah, feet on the pedals, just kind of focusing on what's coming next, and that was something we hadn't seen yet.
This looks hard because it's a hip as well. Watch, he's trying to turn it into that slightly right angled hip landing.
Yeah, it's a hip. It's very, very mellow, and it's actually quite high speed right there.
Kind of blind, too.
Yeah, definitely. And this next feature, I want you to watch his front tire on the landing off this next feature. Look how nose in he comes. Catches it and just chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, this angle, we should be able to see it.
That'll answer one of our viewers' questions, right? The judges do love seeing that front tire touchdown first. It shows so much precision, commitment. That was huge. Front flip bar spin out of the step down.
Yeah, one-upping his opening trick. And this backflip, you see, watch his eyes. His head stops, he spots the landing, and then flicks it back to finish off that second rotation and brings those tires straight into the landing.
Well, we know the judges love the double backflip on the last jump. We just saw Paul Couderc stomp one and move into top 5 contention. Griffin Paulson now awaiting his score. Hey, there we go. An 83.5. Griffin knocks Paul Couderc out of that 5th place. Put the pressure on Ben Thompson right now, right? He was sitting there in 5th.
83.
And now he's down into 7th.
I just like to run.
I just like to run.
Yeah, Paulson fired up.
What was the score?
On getting from the top to bottom.
Into 5th place. Is that less than like?
So Griffin into 5th place, and now we have our rookie in his first Crankworx Slopestyle appearance, the 2022 Red Bull Rookie of the Year on the FMB World Tour, Felix Törnqvist. He was the first rider to drop in today in this competition. Final run here.
Yeah, having trouble on the final jump. Let's see if he can clean it up here on his second and final run. Looking good so far. Double downside tail up on the hip. Coming into this first big jump.
Nice.
Backflip, double tail whip. Keeping the speed up, gets the pedal in. Wall ride, bar spin off.
Oh yeah.
Gets a 3 variation off of that cannon. Nose press to X up. 360 on the spine. 360 double whip down, and this is where he had trouble. Let's see if he can clean it up, Cam.
Let's see if he can get this final trick. All right, he goes. He sticks with the backflip, triple bar spin there, and gets a run top to bottom. That's got to feel so good in your first Crankworx Slopestyle appearance to get a run in the can.
So proud of you. How are we get together?
Yeah, absolutely. That triple bar spin backflip was where we saw him have some trouble in the first runs, but sticking it absolutely perfect.
Such a huge learning experience here for the first timer. I mean, there were things from run number 1 that he didn't quite get in run number 2, but most importantly, he finished run number 2, and I think it was smart sticking with the backflip triple bar spin. He tried a quad in run number 1. I think this flip double whip was cleaner here than it was in run number 1. He had a 360 knack in run number 1, just getting the foot slightly off here. But then focusing on the next feature. And if you remember what he did on the step down last time, he snuck a bar spin in after that 360 tail up. And here are 3 bar spins instead of 4, but also rolling out instead of sliding out, and that's what counts the most.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you hear us talking about momentum and building and foundations. You know, he's doing it for his whole career right now. He's setting the foundation for his career, riding with the top slopestyle athletes in the world. I think he's got everything to be proud of for making it to the bottom and getting a full run in.
His riding buddy is Emil Johansson, so I guess that's what riding with the champ does for you. It buys you a ticket to the Crankworx World Tour if you get those results. The riding level he's on is insane. Good job stomping a run, Felix. But now we got Tomas Lemoine, top of the course right here. So stoked to see him riding the slopestyle competition. He's probably going to be focusing on bigger bikes and different events in the future, but he's going to soak this up right now.
Yeah, fast plant, 360 off the flat drop, truck to invert, on the hip, doing it 450 long ways. There's that double backflip. I cannot believe how casually these riders are doing double backflips out here. Wall ride to tuck no hander. Barston going for the X up out of there, so he is adding a little bit more. He's trying to...
Oh, sneaky. Oh, he's got more speed this time.
Gets the front flip off. Okay, time to regroup. What's it going to be on this last jump?
Oh, Castro X up. So stylish and clean on the landing. That was killer.
Yeah, one-upping his last run by adding another technicality.
I'm not dead, bro. I can do it.
What did he say? I'm not what?
I'm not dead, bro. I can do it.
Oh, yeah, dude. You're far from dead, man. You're living right now, Lemoine. That was such a good run.
I love the creativity that we're seeing out of these riders on that flat drop. Lemoine with the fast plant, and then this just casual, like he's blowing his nose or snapping his fingers, but getting the double backflip off.
Watch him on that final jump. When he clicked into that X up in the middle of the castrol, he stalls it out. It's so cool. Here he was with the backflip. Bar's been trying to get the X up there, trying to sneak in an extra variation. Speaking of which, nose bonk, tuck to bar. That's a good variation. He had more speed coming out of this thing this time. And here we go, watch this.
Yeah, the
doing
stall.
The castrol. Look where he's looking. He's like staring at the fans there in the middle of a front cork 720. Clicks the X up for the extra style points. Clean on the landing. Yeah, he's gonna better his score. I gotta think, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, that X up on that Kashi, the way that he stalled it out like that, just kind of floated it around. I mean, I haven't seen cash rolls like that. And anytime you're doing something that's a little unique and stands out over the rest, you know, I think the judges are going to reward him for that.
Well, the judges have. He's got an 80.75, a full 10.25 ahead of his run one score. Rewarded for the cleanliness and the creativity of that run. Tomas Lemoine goes into 7th place. Oh, yes. Fedko back at the top of the course for some more.
So remember, Fedko battling today. 2 blown out ankles and a sore arm, some nerve pain, just fighting each run to get it in. We saw him absolutely magnificent from the top, almost all the way to the bottom.
See what he's asking, Nicholi.
Driving.
These guys having a good time out there for sure.
Nice, 3 bar to X. Oh man, I thought he was gonna be chilling. He's going for it.
Yeah, he's going for it. He knows where he's at. 450 bar spin to tail whip. Oh, now he's chilling.
Listen. Yeah, man, that run was so good in run number 1. He's sitting on a 71 in 11th place right now on a day where he didn't even think he was going to be able to ride. Putting on a show for the crowd. What's he got for us down here? Big old knack, stylish. Fedko's happy with run number 1. I can't believe the 2 tricks he did to start this run if he wasn't even sweating trying to better his score. A little bit of time to rest and relax and get ready for cans now.
Yeah, definitely. An ice bath might be in the future for Fedko. Definitely gonna feel this day tomorrow, but a hard-fought battle. There's that truck to X up. That's when you saw that landing perfect, thinking he was on. Followed it straight up with a 450 truck to tail whip.
I wonder if he was going for it, saying, all right, I'll go for it until I miss something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he had something more planned.
Man, so much style. He's like transferring on that whip. He's been spending a bunch of time on the big bike as well, riding in Queenstown, riding Dream Track. His whips are on point.
Man, that must feel so good, just stepping off the back of the bike and flying through the air on that big Showtime booter.
Erik, crazy day, man. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Tell me how it was today and what it was like to actually take that run and stomp it in run number 1.
Dude, I don't know, man. I felt so good actually going into practice. I've been struggling with my arm all day long. Like some nerves are fucking hurting. And then with a rolled ankle already, I do a simple flip whip and I roll my other ankle. Fuck, bro, it hurts. Dude, it fucking hurts. I don't know what's going on this week, but fuck, I had to put on a show for you guys. And yeah, dude, only good times to come. So, dude, shit happens, but I'm fucking happy to be alive. And
okay.
I love you guys.
Hey, we love you too. Hey, man, I feel like you're in some pain right now, so go rest up. We hope to see you in cans.
Like
you're such a champion. Way to go pushing through the pain, Fedko.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro. Do we have a bleep button? We got all these buttons and none of them are a bleeper. We need a bleep button. Oh, Max Fredriksson at the top of the course. He wants back onto that podium. He had 2 of them to finish off last season. Here we go.
There's that nose press to invert 3 off the flat drop. Triple. Oh, unfortunately slipping a pedal and sliding out right there. You saw him, he had the eye of the tiger.
Max, sitting in 10th right now, is gonna have to just ride it out on his run 1 score of a 72, unfortunately. Oh man, hopefully he's all good. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that. Here we go. The nose press 360 to inward table clean. It was the second feature here with the downside triple whip. Just getting on the pedals late, right? And then not really having your legs extended to absorb that impact with your knees.
Yeah, I mean, he caught the bike with his right foot right there. And you see how his left foot, he caught the bike and you saw how his right foot went out. So you have to counterbalance it when you catch it. So you're catching with one foot, you kind of counterbalance it by sticking your other leg out to stop that rotation. But unfortunately, he was maybe, a fraction of a second a little bit late and wasn't able to lock that foot on the pedal once he got it back on.
Well played for Max Fredriksson. He's got a lot of fans out there pulling for him. And hopefully we'll see him back strong in Cairns, where he got a 3rd place last year. So back up to the top, it's gonna be Lucas Huppert. One of my favorite moments of the competition so far today is that backflip, downside tail up on the 90-degree hip, the second feature on the course. It looks so good. He gets rewarded for that. Run 1 was great, it scored a 74, but he wants to improve it. Lucas Huppert, final run of the day for him. Can he better the 74? Here he goes.
360 tail whip on the drop, getting a couple pedals in.
Oh, it's so
There's
cool.
that clean downside flip whip over the hip.
Oh, he gets a triple!
Gets the triple front flip bar spin.
So he's already improved.
He's able to get 3 bar spins on the truck on the cannon there. Gets another one off the nose press, so Huppert is zeroed in on this final jump.
Get it. Perfect.
Nice, gets the cork 7. Okay, come on, Hoopy, you got this, buddy.
Cap it off. Double backflip. Yes, he gets it. Lucas Huppert, huge run.
That was a run.
Huge run for Hoopy.
Whoa. So good to see him one-up himself in so many different places along the way down the course and absolutely stick it.
So by the time he gets to the second feature, he's already done huge 2-part combos and tail ups both directions. I love that trick right there.
Yeah, it looks so cool coming over that hip. And coming into jump number 1.
1, 2, 3.
Just so stable with the bar spins. The bike in between his legs, not going anywhere. Here, same thing. 1, 2, 3. Nose press, gets another bar in. And then coming down the step down. Look at that, there's that snap that we were talking about earlier. He's able to get it off perfect again. This cork 7 nosing straight in. And coming in straight like that is gonna give him all the opportunity to do this right here on the Showtime booter. Spot that landing, get that second rotation around, and he comes straight into that back tire, perfectly executed.
Watching his eyes on those last 2 tricks is so rad. He's so focused, and everywhere he's putting his body weight is contributing to that trick coming around and ending 2 tires clean to the dirt.
Yeah, I love seeing him come around that berm and all the emotion coming out. You know what this means to him. You know what this means to all these riders.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been training so hard, traveling around the world, following the riding spots. He's trying to beat a 74, improving his score. You gotta think he's gonna do it. What's the score going to be? That run was so clean and packed so many bangers. What do you think his score is gonna be? Get involved in the chat. Tell us what you think.
We got a couple of guesses on there. Simon thinks it's gonna be an 83.5. ZG4G 86.6 is their guess. And Tona thinks it's a 92. Definitely a big supporter.
What do you think, Alan? What's your guess?
Man, I'm gonna think, I gotta say high 80s, if I had to guess.
I know one thing. Usually when they take their time, they like it, and they're just making sure they place it in the right spot. They have access to replays to be able to really make sure they're happy with their decision. Lucas Huppert, run number 1 score of a 74. What does he do in run number 2? It's an 86. He goes into 4th place, and he's fired up.
Wow. That's rad. Awesome, awesome run. A score totally deserved. Lucas Huppert laying it all out, making it happen today. So good to see him come through. I'm ready to see some more of our second round riders.
Well, for sure, this is crazy. We got Ben Thompson, Nicholi Rogatkin, Tom Isted, Dawid Godziek, and Emil Johansson still to go. Next rider we will see dropping will be Ben Thompson, a guy who, until just moments ago, was sitting in top 5. He's all the way down to 9th right now, as these riders who had mistakes in run number 1 clean them up in run number 2 and shake up this leaderboard. Huppert fired up on this score.
Man, looking at the chat, Rav Raider gets the exact score. Is he in the judges panel? Are they
below? Get the exact score?
Someone got the exact score. Yeah, Rav Raider on the chat.
Yes, Ben Thompson, the youngster out of BC, ready to drop for his second run. A 5th place in Cairns. He was sitting in 5th place here just moments ago. Let's see what he has for us. Dropping. Nice.
Man, that front flip is so clean. Coming around, getting that 450 double downside. Superman C-Crab backflip, huge extension. Much, much cleaner than the first one.
Oh, double bar out of the wall.
Double bar out of the wall. His hand barely on the handlebar as he's riding out of it. Whoa. Able to keep his composure, getting his tricks off.
Oh, what do we got, Alan?
Oh, gets the triple truck driver. Down the step down and on the booter.
Ben Thompson, huge front flip tuck no-hander to cap her off.
Absolutely every centimeter of extension on that tuck no-handed front flip there. to bring it into the finish corral. Man, did you see that bar-to-bar off that wall ride? His right hand was all the way at the very end. I thought maybe he was gonna slip off, and somehow he was able to keep the composure.
Yeah, front flip off the start drop, super clean. His landings have been really smooth on that all week in practice. He was clean on this 450 downside double whip. Love this trick here.
Huge extension on the Superman sea crab backflip. And then this may be the only spot where I saw him struggle. Watch this hand. Right there, he kind of double checks it, moves it out to the outside, almost slipped off, but he was able to keep his composure and get that double whip.
Alan, I want to look at after the step down into the money booter here, because you know, in run number 1, he went for the 360 downside double whip. I'm wondering if he lost a little bit of speed here and had to improvise. Sometimes riders use front flips to push through when they don't have ideal speed. So it might have been an improvisational move here. Pretty clean there, though.
Yeah, he looks pretty clean.
Yeah,
gets a couple of pedals in.
Well, the triple truck is going to score big there. And he had a huge extension on the front flip tuck no-hander. Maybe he just decided to switch it up. The judges will score it for what it is. 2 clean runs for Ben Thompson. Man, the future is bright for this kid.
Yeah, definitely coming into his own here. Get a little recovery drink there. He's done for the day. It's all good.
All right, Ben Thompson sitting on a 78 from run number 1 in 9th position. He had a great second run. Big question is, will he improve his score? Will he move up the rankings? Already improves a bit, 81.5, moves up a couple spots.
I take it.
8th place, says I'll take it. Great work there for Ben Thompson. Man, he's got big moves and he's consistent. He's sticking around.
Yeah, definitely. In the top 10 right now, solid.
Oh boy, Nicholi Rogatkin. Final run of the day here for Nicholi Rogatkin.
This is going to be intense, Cam. Front flip off the flat drop.
Pull.
Gets that corked 810. Absolutely perfect coming into this first big jump.
Oh, nice.
Nails the cashy whip. Big downside tail up all the way up and over that wall ride. Oh, double tail whip off the cannon. Superman Sea Cup one-hander this time on that jump. Nice. No-hander on the spine. Yes, that cashy. Okay. Get off your feet, ladies and gentlemen. What's it going to be?
Frontal bar spin, a duck no-hander again. So clean.
Absolutely clean. You see him kind of wincing on that finish line. You know he wanted maybe a little bit more and just didn't quite have the speed to make it happen. We saw him earlier in practice going for the speedball.
Listen.
No.
Isn't that crazy how great of a run that was? He wanted something huge on the last jump.
I wanted to try the double front so bad.
I know you did, dude. I know you did. That's all Nicholi cares about, is if he tried everything he possibly could.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look back up top and what got him to the bottom. Look at how amazingly perfect that is. Front tire first, pumping out of it with pure control. That cashy
magnet feet.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to a cash roll. Double tail whip off the cannon, and this was a one up here. It was only a Superman sea crab in his first run, but he's able to get that other hand off this time.
He was not rushed in this run. He was calm. He was like savoring the air time. The whole run thinking about what he was going to do on that last jump. In the last second deciding, how do you even call this plane safe? A front flip bar spin to tuck no-hander. You heard him say it right there. He wanted to go for the double front flip. He tried it in practice, under-rotated a touch, was hoping to try it here today. But man, that was a good run.
Yeah, something we've seen pop up on Nicholi's feed from time to time. Nicholi, be my dad. I feel like those would be some pretty rough training sessions if Nicholi was your dad.
Yeah, you're gonna have the whip cracked on you, man. You're gonna turn into a pro athlete if you want Nicholi to be your dad. We saw how Nicholi's dad shaped him.
I wanted to try a double front on this last one. I know the fans wanted it. That whole run was based around that, but just into it. That's why I'm bummed, but I'll take that run.
It's all good, dude. Hey, guess what? It's a long season. We know you're going to stomp that double front flip at some point. Some told him it wasn't the right moment to do it right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, nothing to be ashamed of. That's pretty awesome to hear that he has that in his bag. You know, our next stop on the Crankworx World Tour is where he won last year in Cairns, Australia. So, you know, he might be walking away not in the exact position he wanted, but he's walking away from here healthy, and he's still got the opportunity to pull that double fronty.
Well, does he better his score? He had an 85. He now has an 87.5. He moves up one spot in the leaderboard into 4th place. Oh, Tom Isted is so fired up right now. He's guaranteed a top 3 position. He's worked so hard for so many years to get onto the Crankworx Slopestyle podium. So cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. You know, we used to refer to him as the bubble boy, getting in time and time again, just off of the alternate, but he's no longer an alternate. He's no longer just a competitor. He is now a podium contender.
He's gonna smell like champagne tonight.
Oh man, it's gonna be a big night. Oh, he can feel it. So much energy flowing through.
You can see Emil so happy for him. Tom Isted fired up, guaranteed podium. And he's gonna soak it up right now.
Yeah. You hear him talking to himself. I can't believe I just got a podium on course. Feeling it, such a special feeling to know that you've done what you can do. You found yourself on the podium in front of this Rotorua crowd. Yeah. And this is just for you, fans. Let's just listen in and watch.
Yeah.
The crowd cheers him in for a nice casual double backflip.
His riding level is so on point right now, and he's worked so hard to get to this point.
Oh yeah, you see it coming out of him. That's a lot of years, a lot of training, a lot of dedication, a lot of fighting through. I'm sure a lot of people telling him maybe he shouldn't be sending himself off of these huge jumps. Well, he just proved them all wrong, because he just got a podium at Crankworx Rotorua.
Way to go, Tom Isted.
Oh, the beer is gone. The celebration has begun.
Scold it.
You see this chill double backflip. The rule is 1 up, spot the landing, 1 down. Tom Isted doing it as good as anybody has ever done into the finish corral. Just for you, fans.
Well, we get to talk about something else right now. Dawid Godziek, a guy who has 3 third places on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour, has now secured himself a 2nd place. He'll be the next rider up at the top of the course. Curious to see if he's gonna go for the win. All right. Tom, it's such a long road to get onto the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour. We called you the bubble boy for so long on the alternate list. Now you've secured yourself on the tour, and now this is your first podium. We can kind of tell what you're feeling right now, but put it into words for us.
Don't think I actually can, Cam, to be honest. Yeah, I could cry, to be honest, I think. Yeah, it's a gnarly one. That's my first full pull I've ever done at Rotorua as well, so I'm more than stoked.
Can you see how stoked your fellow competitors are for you as well?
Yeah, they're the biggest family I've ever had, so it's the best.
That's huge, and I know the crowd is stoked for you as well. Let's hear it for Tom Isted getting onto that podium.
Cheers, boys.
Way to go, my man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Man, that is so cool. We got 2 riders left to go here. Dawid Godziek with an opportunity to win the competition. We know he has what it takes. He's sitting in 2nd place right now, and he looks focused.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a glory run here, Cam. We know he's got more. Hop, opposite tail whip in.
Yeah.
Triple tail whip on the hip. We know he had more based on that first run, sitting in 2nd. Yeah! No-handed twister. What's he got on this, Cam? Another just style over it. Okay, I thought he was going to step it up there, so maybe he's got something somewhere else.
He's going to go huge at the bottom.
Double truck, okay. Nose press to bar. Tuck no-handed 3 on the spine.
Yes, the Kashi bar down the step down.
Kashi bar down the step down, landed a little sideways. Does he have what it takes?
You know what he wants. The Kashi roll tail whip. Cleans it.
Dawid Godziek. You know that's what he wanted. Letting it all come out.
Oh, man.
Knowing the worst that he could do is second place, laying it all on the line, putting the pressure on Emil Johansson, who waits at the top. It's going to be interesting to see what this score is, Cam.
In run number 1, Dawid Godziek wanted the bar spin in the cash roll off the step down so bad. We saw him fighting for it in practice, cleaning it, and he wanted to link it into that cash roll tail up. Had a feeling that was what was on his mind here.
So that tail whip, that hop tail whip, which, you know, sometimes it's harder to get that momentum going, was opposite one. And then he goes around 3 times his regular way on the hip. And then this, a 1080 rotation, fully corked out with his hands off.
So much aggression to initiate that spin.
And then this, getting that one-footed table much more cranked than his first run. Looked a little more planned there. Double truck off the cannon. And then this is where he stepped it up, huh, Cam?
Oh, big time. Just doing a cash roll off of this step down, scored huge for him in run number 1. That's why he's sitting in second place. But to get the bar spin in there is going to score huge. That's not something we've seen in slopestyle competition before off a step down. And to link it into the cash roll tail whip, magnet feet, catching early, securing those feet onto the pedals, and stomping the landing.
Yeah, I don't know what that adjustment was that he made after we saw him crash on that very move in practice, but since then he has been 100% every time he's gone for it.
Emil says, all right, let's see what the judges do with this. Emil Johansson, his job is not over today until we see these scores here for the hammer that was just dropped by Dawid Godziek.
Judges taking their time, checking the replays. The judges have their own camera angles where they can request replays and make sure that they're judging exactly what they thought they saw through that run. Emil up top, waiting to see if he needs to step it up.
Oh man, he's ready to do it
or
too.
if this will be a glory run.
It's a crazy thing they're comparing right now, you know? They're comparing the technicality of mirror image, huge combos from Emil Johansson to the big hammers from Dawid Godziek. Huge hammers in that run, man. Okay, what's it gonna be? Oh! Wow, look at that, 93.5, just 0.25 out of the top spot. Emil Johansson has done it. Won the competition here today. Dawid Godziek secures second place. Wow, man, they're getting close.
They're getting
so
really close. Looking at the comments flow in on the live feed, it looks like we have, we have few people thinking it should have gone the other way. We have people supporting Emil. So really just a testament to how tight and how close these riders are. It's so awesome to see everyone sort of catching up to Emil. It's not a guarantee. This is not a battle for second like we've seen in the past. It's anybody's game, but Emil still able to come out on top.
Wow. Emil Johansson has done it again. He has the luxury of a victory lap here. Man, to see him go from full focus to now realizing he's won the competition again, he gets to enjoy another smooth run down the course. What do you think? Tell us in the comment box below here on Red Bull Bikes YouTube channel.
We see some questions coming in. Is Emil the GOAT? Well, he is today.
Well, guess what? We can count. This is 10 Crankworx Slopestyle wins. What tricks is he gonna do here?
Oh man, he is gonna just put smiles on our face. It looks so good when he gets to do these glory runs. We talked about it the other day, but when you sit there, at least for me, when I sit there and imagine what it feels like to ride, if I'm falling asleep at night and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. This is exactly what I imagine it needing to look like. Can I do it? Absolutely not. But if you could write the book on what it would look like when you ride, it's Emil Johansson.
Oh my gosh. The opposite. 361 footed flatty. Somebody got a really good picture of that, I guarantee you. Wow.
So sweet, man. That was fun.
Such a tight contest between these riders. So awesome to see Thomas Lemoine finally break that barrier down and end up on the podium. Nicholi Rogatkin not able to pull off the run that he wanted, but solid finish.
Yes, here we go. Right now.
Oh man, I want to know what that feels like.
Right?
I want to know what that feels like so bad.
And that's his opposite too.
Well, he's in the side where when he's opposite, he's goofy-footed, so that means he's spinning to his frontwards foot, which is your regular, but also my favorite feeling trick out of anything out there. Just a clean, goofy-footed 360, opposite or regular. Nose down and chilling.
Oh. Well, Emil, Sharon, congratulatory embraces there with Tom Isted, who found himself on the podium. Dawid Godziek in second, man, just a quarter of a point off from Emil. Oh, I can't wait to talk to Emil right now. Hey, dude, wow, you can take a breath of fresh air. What a performance. Maybe one of my favorite things I saw all day was that opposite 361-footed flatty in your victory lap. But right before you dropped in there, man, you were all focused because you weren't sure if that score was going to come in from Godziek ahead of yours. It was only a quarter of a point. Tell me how close this competition was today and what you were feeling at the top waiting for Godziek's score.
Well, the field is absolutely stacked with amazing riders, and it's never an easy one. It never comes easy to, first of all, just put down a run, but let alone actually place well in a contest. So it always gets the nerves going, gets the heart rate up for sure. And yeah, I was ready, but.
Yeah, deja vu. I feel like we were just doing this moments ago. It was November when you secured the Triple Crown. This is a great way to start the season. Good luck for the rest of the year. We'll see you in Cairns, my man.
Thank you.
Man, oh man. 10 Crankworx Slopestyle wins, 8 of them in a row. Injury in Cairns, comes back for Rotorua to finish the season last year, wins the Triple Crown, now starts the season here in Rotorua for 2023 and picks up right where he left off. Another gold medal for Emil Johansson.
Yeah, you see him at the top there as he's waiting for the score. It's not a shoe-in. He knows that these riders are creeping up, and these scores are getting closer. Able to take the win by 0.25 only.
A quarter of a point. People go like this. Because we're the guys who are talking up here on the broadcast, they say, what do you think? Does anybody have what it takes to beat Emil? Can anybody do it? It's like, yes, 100%. The field is stacked, and Emil has to work so hard to stay at the top. And look at that, 0.25, man, we're not lying. The field can do it. Nicholi Rogatkin, if he chucked that double front flip, what would the score have been? This just foreshadows an insane season we have in store for us here in 2023. Wow.